think I'm live. All right, here we go. We're gonna start this. Listen, I don't know if this is gonna go against the DMCA.
I'm at the saving his wife and him and his wife's life. You know what I mean? I'm at the rescuing them. So you know, some of the shady stuff that's going on regarding some of the other issues, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna pay for that now. That's just the way it has to be. I'm in a vicious mode. No family around. You know, I'm a bad man without the fam. You know what I mean? And that's the way I'm feeling right now. So it's everything happens for a reason. Everything comes full circle, and I feel I'm in a good place right now. I feel I'm in the place I need to be in.
All right, what a great pleasure this is. My very first chat for BT Sport. Who better than the one and only Conor McGregor to do with, of course, we are just hours away now from UFC 264, July 10th in Las Vegas, the trilogy, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Conor, thank you so much for the time. A pleasure as always to talk to you.
My pleasure, thank you. Who better to bring the ratings, Ariel, on your first one?
That's right. That's right. A lot of buzz, a lot of excitement. And yes, of course. This is perfect. I couldn't have scripted it any better, if I'm being honest.
My factory.
Leading up to this fight, Conor, in my opinion, you have been somewhat conspicuous by your absence. You know, not a lot of footage of you in Countdown, Embedded. You know, you've shown up a couple times on Instagram, but very quiet, very under the radar.
All right, we got that. I'm just started building.
I do what I want, Ariel. I do what I want. I'm keeping this enemy in a suspense of terror, and that's it. So you paid to see my work.
Do you feel like he is in a state of terror right now?
Of course, he's trembling. Like, even after the last win, Ariel. I don't like this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Imagine after your biggest win, you're saying that because he knows he got electrocuted in both rounds. He got rattled. I had him out on his feet in both rounds, multiple times in the first and even in the second. A bad one in the second. So you know he knows the shots he hit. He's gonna eat a hell of a lot more of them. That's for sure.
You know, speaking of the first fight, you seem to have handled it very well in the immediate aftermath, the press conference, even, you know, you showed up the next day on Instagram. You didn't shy away. You've never shied away.
Of course, I'm here for a job. It's, you know, I'm here to do my work. Things happen in this business. It's about assessing, you know, what went wrong, things we can improve on, you know, and that's it. These are things that, you know, rise me up. I've done it before, and it's a good energetic feeling, this one for me. It's like I needed it to happen. I sparked him in 60 seconds the first time. I had him out on his feet in the second one. If I knocked him out there in that second fight, Ariel, this wouldn't be what this is. It would have been like, you were supposed to knock him out. Now I'm at to teeing it up to be the biggest thing on the planet. So I'm relishing in it, and we've been putting in solid work.
If someone would have told you back in 2014, eventually you would have a trilogy with Dustin Poirier after the way that first fight went, would you believe them?
No, I wouldn't have believed them, but it is what it is. Here we are.
So it looks like Yellow was the one who I would attack first.
Just a couple of weeks after the fight, you posted something that got everyone, all riled up. You posted on Instagram, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." What did you mean by that?
You know, just the way things have shaped out. I felt pity for the guy. To be honest, I feel like, you know, I do feel a bit of pity for a lot of people in the game. And that was really it. I reached out, you know, it was going to be a charity event. It was nothing really to do with the UFC at the start. I was kind of just playing for the Manny fight. I wanted a mixed martial arts competition because they had kept me out for so long. I was frustrated about it.
You guys were so pissed off about the city,
He was a southpaw boxer. That was that. That's the way it went. And, you know, that's it.
What do you mean you take pity for him? Like, he won the fight. Why did you feel bad?
Not even that. Just before. I don't know. I'm at the saving him and his wife and his wife's life. You know. I'm at the rescuing them. So, you know, some of the shade.
They definitely like these. These are guards. They love shit like this.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for that now. That's just the way it has to be. And God bless you.
Are you referring to the charity situation?
Yeah, there are a few things. The whole thing. Yeah, a couple of things.
What can you explain your side of? We haven't heard your side of that. He put it out there that I guess you hadn't reached out regarding the charity, and this seemed to bother you, right?
He jumped the gun, is what he done. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I went with a reputable charity in the area. I had said I was going to donate. Like I said, it originally started as like a charity event. You know, it was going to be a charity event, and the profits off of the event were going to go to charity. So when the fight actually got announced, when we made it under the UFC banner, then I kept it up. I said, I'll still help you out. I'll still give you the dig out, and then, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy where it's gone. It's gone to Boys and Girls Club of Academia, and You know, not just some random MMA gym for profit, which is essentially what the attempt was. So I'm happy the way it's gone, and it's got me into that other mode that suits me down to the ground. So I'm happy with it.
Do you feel like he was almost like attacking your character by doing this?
Of course, yeah, it was awful. Yeah, of course.
Need more houses.
It was a grave mistake.
The last 2 times we saw you in action against Donald and against him in January, it was all very friendly leading up to the fight. And everyone loves to analyze your demeanor leading up to fights and your relationship with your opponent. Do you feel like you need to go back to the Conor who was trying to take everyone's head off, you against the world?
I'm certainly in that mode again. I'm in a vicious mode. No family around, I'm a bad man without the family. You know what I mean? And that's the way I'm feeling right now. So it's everything happens for a reason. Everything comes full circle, and I feel I'm in a good place right now. I feel I'm in the place I need to be in.
Why no family around this time?
Going from the killer man and then coming home cuddling the children and feeding the bottles at night.
We're gonna go right at them.
It doesn't mix, and it's not even that. It's
my land speeders. Here they are.
Well, it is that, but it's also even on days like rest day. So, I put in my
Garnoceros.
My rest day, but rest days with the family is not really rest day. You're going out, you're doing something, you're playing with the kids all day. This time I had none of that. There was no distractions, and I was able to recuperate fully. So then when my next round of training began, I was fully rested and ready to go. It's shown in the practice room. It's shown in the and it will show on Saturday. Sorry?
Sorry, when's the last time you saw your family?
Well, geez, I don't know exactly, but it's
I don't see a lot of.
Dubai, and I came here. So they're back in Ireland.
These are Garnoceros, whatever you call them. You don't have any defense for your city, buddy. I'm taking it.
Celebrating fathers for young girls. You are now a girl dad. Congratulations to you and beyond that. How has that changed you, if at all?
She's a little princess, my daughter. Really.
No surrender, huh?
Happy. What is it, father-daughter day? Is it,
yeah,
happy father-daughter day to you also.
Yeah.
That's cool. I was on the FaceTime with him today before I came here.
All right, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. Very proud. I want another girl. I'd like another daughter.
Are these guys calming down now?
I've got a daughter.
Oh yeah, they're doing fine. You're over by the mountains.
It's
doing push-ups.
Because I still remember you saying about the Aldo fight.
Come on.
Distractions. He has kids. Now you're talking about a fourth.
Yeah,
you completely
it is
changed.
what it is. But yeah.
One more house.
Put distractions away a little bit. So.
Sure.
It's all good. You keep bringing it up, all this up. No, you know what I mean? So stop that. I'm dangerous at the minute. You know what I mean? I'll be father-daughter today and all this crap.
Okay.
Then
Conor, a lot was said, and
we can't build. I don't have any reason to build boats because I gotta.
Your stance. Have you gone away from the traditional boxing stance and that kind of work leading up to the fight?
I will go through the elements. You know what I mean? There's a lot of benefits in that stance also. I'm not going to shoot it out fully, but I was saying.
My understanding is you do not have your boxing coach close up.
Is there a way to contact them?
We can come to the US, but we've been training.
And tell them to surrender? No, I guess I have to take them down.
So who will be in your
John and Roddy, and then two fast speeders.
And my land speeders.
Solely mixed martial arts.
Garnoceros going to town.
The last camp was 75% boxing, 80% preparation for the hacking. You know what I mean?
Don't mess with the Garnoceros.
I had a whole team of people that was specifically for Manny as far as body shape and all of this type of track. So, and then I also
I'm just trying to get to the space age. This is my original creations.
Because they're like different areas. I've just focused solely on mixed martial arts. I've put in some great work with all my coaches over the years. Phil, the boxing guys, Sergey, the wrestling guys. But I dialed it in to the mixed martial arts aspect of it. There's no point in not doing it, especially the way the last one went and the way this one is. So the corner is as it's always been. An extra addition will be the fast coach who does the clock for me in sparring. So it'll be all familiar to the sparring. So
Did you feel like that boxing training led to the defeat in January? Did you feel like
I got a lot of benefits out of that. The shots, my punches were crisp. I let off the weapons and also dealing with the attacks of a mixed martial artist. For sure. Doing some spars and some of those heavy spars and boxing spars. Your MMA spar is not going to it was hard to fit them both in at the same time. So.
Ooh, whoa, what's going on here?
Do you suspect he is going to come out with the same type of game plan?
That's all he knows, all he has. He's crapping his bags at him. So he shot 20 seconds before the round. 20 seconds in, he almost shot as fast as the Dagestani shot 15 seconds in. So they fight me afraid. They fight afraid. They battle, shell, die for legs.
One thing that you noted a couple times after the fight was that you didn't need the stool in between rounds. Why was that such a big deal for you?
It was nice to be, showcase
you
that.
bastard. Choose attack.
My cardiovascular abilities is improving. Again, though, there's none of that this camp. Or there's none of that this fight. There's nothing for free getting given here. There's a lot of freebies in the last one. 155 pounds on the scale. That's going to be 156 pounds on this scale. Free shots in the octagon. Not taking the stool, etc., etc. Plugs out of pity. All of these things are gone. I'm taking everything now.
Is it personal?
No, it's never personal. It's just a corpse. It's just a corpse in front of me that I need to just dissect and rip through.
I'm assuming you've watched the fight.
Plus I have that bomb if they try to come back.
The moments where he's kind of pointing at you and laughing about the shots and things like that. How do those sit with you?
We'll see who's pointing this time.
Trade routes, thank you.
When's the last time you watched it?
I'm not sure. A couple of days, maybe a week or so ago. I've watched it. I've studied it. I've not,
When you see yourself, the closing moments of the fight, what goes on in terms of,
nothing.
They got you.
I thought I looked well in the position I ended up in. I was looking like I was relaxing almost. I was happy with it. It is what it is. The leg was immobilized. I went back and forth against the cage and I couldn't bear weight on my right leg. The knockdown wasn't even a knockdown. It was just a right hook that stepped me on the leg that was immobilized and I went down. It was the shot that followed that. But it was a flash. I was up in seconds. I was alert. Everything. I took away lead. I remember when I bounced in basketball back in the day. I was looking at her being
My city, no, brother.
It is what it is. It's the fight business. So, even in the second bout,
We'll take.
shocked him to his core. It was electric.
When the stuff was going on with Dustin and the charity and all that, did you seriously consider someone else for this return fight in July?
No, we were in.
Those were two.
It is what it is. It's to get his ass whooped, that's that.
What about Khabib? Do you still hold that hope that will happen?
I don't really give a about that guy, to be honest with you. I mean, he ran, he's gone, he's trying to play. What did he do? Ball. Before that, he pulled out.
One.
I had a little one.
There we go.
It's not like I wasn't surprised.
Alright, we got money coming in. Let's build some stuff.
I'm not
You
even
guys need
concerned.
home.
Would it be fair to say you win this fight, Charles Oliveira is next, the lightweight champion?
Yeah, it's Oliveira next. We dance with the Brazilians.
Factory.
Again.
Entertainment. Entertainment.
He's gonna crumble. I could, yeah.
Home.
Why the new teeth?
What do you mean? Why the new teeth? I know he's handy.
I thought the other ones were great.
Yeah, well, we can't drink coffee and all that crack. So we drink the coffee out made.
Ooh.
I got them done. They're actually, it's not like I didn't get like veneers or anything. Like they're actually my teeth. They're just juiced up and sparkle and all. So I'm very happy with them.
Yeah, they look great. Congratulations on the proper deal that was announced. Congratulations on Forbes. You are still the bread, as you reminded us not that long ago. Always we have to ask, what is the prediction? How do you see it playing out on Saturday night?
Dustin's going out in a stretcher. That's my prediction. Going out of this fight in a stretcher.
Early, late, mid?
I'm ready for it all. I'm not jumping the gun. I'm ready for it all. He's going out on a stretcher.
Connor, appreciate it as always. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We already got those. The garden like that kind of stuff.
Early.
Cheers, Connor.
Some are born to take the middle path, the safe stretch of
For
road.
now.
But us warriors are born with something in us.
Should I make a boat?
Light in the
Can
dark.
I make a boat? Let's actually
Nice. The good.
go right
the
over
bad.
here.
It takes us down a different path. A path to glory that threatens to destroy us. For each battle is not fought on the canvas, but in the arena of the mind, where there's a fine line between genius and madness. Loved for the enemies slain, loathed for the destruction left behind. For the most victorious, it's not where the journey takes them, but when the journey ends. So go forth, brother, and let the battle begin.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
Hello and welcome to the UFC 264 preview show on BT Sport. I'm Michael
shit.
Bisping and I'm here in a boiling Las Vegas ahead of the biggest fight of the year, the trilogy between Dustin Poirier and Conor
Scheisse.
McGregor. Now, back on Fight Island in January, it was McGregor that tasted defeat and he caught up with Ariel Helwani to talk revenge and what it would mean to him to have his hand.
Does that work?
All right, what a great pleasure this is. My very first chat for BT Sport. Who better than the one and only Conor McGregor to do it with? Of course, we are just
you
away now
orange
from
people.
UFC 264, July 10th in Las Vegas, the trilogy, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Connor, thank you so much for the time. A pleasure as always to talk to you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Who better to bring the ratings, Ariel? On your first one.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right. And a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement. And yes, of course. This is perfect. I couldn't have scripted it any better.
Yeah.
Being honest. Leading up to this fight, Connor, in my opinion, you have been somewhat conspicuous by your absence. You know, not a lot of footage of you in Countdown, embedded. You know, you've shown up a couple times on Instagram, but very quiet, very under the radar. Why is that?
Well, because I do what I want, Ariel.
There
I
it
do
is.
what I want. I'm keeping this enemy.
There it is.
I hate to see my.
Do you feel like he is in a state of terror right now?
Of course, he's trembling. Even after the last win, Ariel. I don't
All right.
want this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Imagine after your biggest win, you're saying that because he knows he got electrocuted in both rounds. He got rattled. I had him out on his feet in both rounds, multiple times in the first and even in the second. A bad one in the second. So he knows the shots he hit. He's gonna be.
You seem to have handled it very well in the immediate aftermath of the press conference. You showed up the next round of the gym. You didn't shy away. You never shied away.
I'm here for
Oh yeah.
things happen in this business. It's about, it's about assessing, what went wrong, things we can improve on, and that's it. These are things that, rise me up.
Yeah.
And it's a good energetic feeling, this one for me. It's like it almost needed to happen. I sparked him in 60 seconds. I had him out on his feet in the second. If we knocked him out there that second fight, Ariel, this would be what he says. It would be like, you were supposed to knock him out. I want to team it up to be the biggest thing on the planet.
You're gonna have to do something else, brother.
I'm relishing in it, and
You're gonna have to do something else while I build my new
Someone
city over
back
here.
in 2014, eventually you would have.
This is gonna have to be my navy.
Dustin Poirier after the way that first fight went. Would you believe them?
No, I wouldn't have believed them, but it is what it is. Here we are, and I'm relishing in it.
Just a couple of weeks after the fight, you posted something that got everyone.
Do I have a sea vessel I already built for them?
No more Mr. Nice Guy. What did you mean by that?
Just the way things have shaped out. I felt pity for the guy. To be honest, I feel I do feel a bit of pity for a lot of people in
I guess
the
not.
game. And that was really it. I reached out, it was going to be a charity event. It was nothing really to do with the UFC at the start. I was kind of just teeing up for the Manny fight. I wanted a mixed martial arts competition because they had kept me out for so long. I was frustrated about it, but
I
I
don't see
picked Dustin. I
anything
felt a bit sorry for him. He was a
particularly like for the
southpaw
garden.
boxer. That was
We need
that.
their
That's the
own
way it
garden
went. And
thing.
you know, that's it.
Wait, what do you mean when you say pity for him? Like, he won the fight. Why did you feel
No,
bad?
not
for
even
him?
that. Just before, I don't know. I'm not there saving him and his. I'm not there saving his wife and him and his wife's life. You know what I mean? I'm not there rescuing them. So you know, some of the shady stuff that's gone on regarding some of the other issues, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna pay for that now. That's just the way it has to be. And God bless you.
Are you referring to the charity situation?
Yeah, there are a
the
few
drama?
things. The whole thing, yeah. A couple of things.
What can you explain your side? We haven't heard your side of that. He put it out there that I guess you hadn't reached out regarding the charity, and this seemed to bother you,
He
right?
jumped the gun, is what he done. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I went with a reputable charity in the area. I had said I was going to donate. Like I said, it originally started as like a charity event. You know, I was kind of, it was going to be a charity event, and the profits off of the event were going to go to charity. So when the fight actually got announced, when we made it under the UFC banner, then I kept it up. I said, I'll still help you out. I'll still give you the dig out. And then, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy where it's gone. It's gone to the Boys and Girls Club of Academia, and
No? You don't want to do that?
not to just some random MMA gym for profit, which is essentially
that's
what,
weird.
you know, what the attempt was. So I'm happy the way it's gone, and it's got me into that other mode that, you know, suits me down to the ground. So I'm happy with it.
Do you feel like he was almost like attacking your character by doing this?
Of course, yeah. It was, you know, yeah, of course. It's a grave mistake. A grave mistake.
The last two times we saw you in action against Donald and against him in January, it was all very friendly leading up to the fight. And you know, everyone loves to analyze your demeanor leading up to fights and your relationship with your opponent. Do you feel like you need to go back to the Conor who was trying to take everyone's head off, you against the world?
I'm certainly in that mode again. I'm in a vicious mode. No family around. You know, I'm a bad man without the fam. You know what I mean? And that's the way I'm feeling right now. So.
They won't let me put it. What I'm trying to do is put them next to each other like this. That's kind of a stiff thing. It's not letting me do it.
Why no family around this time?
You know, going from preparing to kill a man and then coming home and cuddling the children and feeding them bottles at night.
Kind of like that.
It just doesn't.
But with spikes and shit.
It's not even that. It's more so, you know. Well, it is that, but it's also even on days like rest day. So you know, I put in my work and then I go from it would be my rest day. But rest days with the family is not really rest day. You're going out, you're doing something, you're playing with the kids all day. This time I had none of that. You know, there was no distractions, and you know, I was able to recuperate fully. So then when my next round of training began, I was fully rested and, you know, ready to go. And it's shown in the practice room. It's shown in my performance in the gym. And it will show on Saturday night. Sorry?
Sorry, when's the last time you saw your family?
Geez, I don't know exactly, but it's been a bit now. I left them in Dubai and I came here.
That's kind of getting my... Yeah, there we go.
You know, there's a term
that's
it
getting there.
Came about after the passing of Kobe Bryant, girl dad, about, you know, celebrating fathers who are fathers for young girls. You are now a girl dad. Congratulations to you and Dee on that. How has that changed you, if at all?
She's a little princess, my daughter. I love her dearly.
No other way.
And yeah, happy. What is it? Father-daughter day? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Father-daughter day to you.
What's going on? Why are you going the wrong way, dude?
I was on the FaceTime with them today before I came here, and yeah, very proud. I want another girl. You know, I'd like another daughter.
Wait, we're going the other way, dude.
You got a daughter. I'd like to.
What the fuck are you doing this backwards for?
It's an amazing thing because I still remember you saying about the Aldo fight. He's got distractions. He has kids. Now you're talking about a fourth.
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, and then I had to kind of put distractions away a little bit.
Huh. So. That's really not cool.
Good. You keep bringing it up, all this up. No, you know what I mean? So stop that. I'm dangerous at the minute. You know what I mean? Don't be father-daughter day and all this crack.
Okay, fair enough. Conor, a lot was said and was made of the leg kicks in the second fight, and in particular your stance. Have you gone away from the traditional boxing stance and that kind of work leading up to this fight?
Now, are they making this backwards? Is that what's going on?
You know what I mean? There's a lot of benefits in that stance also. You know what I mean? I'm not going to shut it out fully, but I will certainly mix it up for sure.
My understanding is
because if that's the case, can I turn it? I can't turn it around
with you this time. Is that accurate?
Yeah,
I
we
think
didn't
they're
come to the
thinking I'm
US.
going.
We've been training. We have trained non-stop, yeah, but they didn't come to the US.
I think they're thinking
who
I'm
would be
going the
your partner for
opposite
this
way of which I'm actually
John
fucking
and Roddy,
going.
and then
Hopefully they
my
can
two
figure this
fast
out.
coaches. Like a sparring. It's been solely mixed martial arts. This camp. There's been no distractions. The last camp was 75% boxing. It was 70, even 80% preparation for Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? I had a whole team of people that
Ooh, I
was
see.
specifically for Manny, as far as body shape and type and all of this type of crack. So, and then I also had my wrestling coach. My wrestling coach isn't with me also at the minute either. It's not just the boxing. You know, because they're like different areas. I've just focused solely on mixed martial arts. You know, I've put in some great work with all my coaches over the years. Phil, the boxing guys, Sergey, the wrestling guys. But I dialed it in.
God, they got it
to
backwards.
The mixed martial arts aspect of it. There's
How
no
is
point
this
in
the other way?
Not doing it, especially the way the last one went and the way this one is. The corner is, as it's always been. An extra addition will be the fast coach who does the clock for me in the sparring. So it'll be all familiar to the sparring.
Okay. Look at the front needs to go
Did you feel like that boxing training led to
the other
defeat
fucking
in
way.
January?
How do I
You feel
flip
You know, I
it?
got a lot of benefits out of that. The shots, my punches were crisp. You know,
Save, new
I
creation,
let off the weapons and also
cancel.
dealing with the attacks of a mixed martial artist, for sure. You know what I mean? If you're doing multiple spars, and some of those heavy spars are boxing spars.
No, it's
you know,
got to
your
go the
MMA
other
spars
way,
are gonna be-
goddammit.
You know, it was hard to fit them.
Why won't it
both
let
in
me
at
go the
same
other way?
time. So, I've focused fully on MMA for this one.
Do you suspect he is going to come out with the same type of game plan?
That's all he
attack the
knows.
league
All he
like-
has. He's crapping his bags earlier, man. I think he shot in 20 seconds of the first round. 20 seconds in, he almost shot as fast as the Dagestani, who shot 15 seconds into the first round. So they fight me afraid. They fight afraid. They back away. They shell up. They dive for the legs.
There we go.
You know.
I think they figured
I'm
it
aware
out.
of it now. Awareness is what it's about. That's it.
One thing that you noted a couple of times after the fight was that you didn't need the stool in between
Mm-hmm.
rounds. Why was that such a big deal for you?
It was nice to be, to showcase that, my cardiovascular abilities.
What the fuck are they doing?
Again, though, there's none of that this.
How is this
There's none of that
happening?
this fight. There's nothing for free getting given here. There's a lot of freebies in the last one. 155 pounds on the scale. That's going to be 156 pounds on this scale. You know, free shots in the octagon, not taking the stool, etc., etc. Plugs out of pity. All of these things are gone. I'm taking everything now.
Okay. I'm gonna put this
Is it
on
personal?
first.
No, it's never personal. It's just
Then-
a corpse. It's just a corpse in front of me that I need to just dissect and rip through.
I'm assuming you've watched the fight a bunch of times, yes?
Mm-hmm.
The moments where he's kind of pointing at you and laughing about the shots and things like that,
We'll see
how
who's
do those
po-
sit with you?
We'll see who's pointing this time.
When's the last time you watched it?
I'm not sure. A couple of days, maybe
This
a week
makes
or
no
so
fucking
ago.
sense. What the
I've
fuck's
watched it.
going
I've
on?
studied it. I'm not, I'm
Jetstream.
prepared.
When you see yourself in the
Axis.
closing moments of the fight, when you see yourself in that state, what goes
Head.
on internally? Because
Nothing.
that's not
Nada.
something we've seen often.
Nada. I thought I looked well in the position I ended up in. I looked like I was relaxing.
Maybe
on
that
it,
is the
you know what
front.
mean?
I don't know.
I was happy
Right.
with it. It is what it is. The leg was immobilized. I was on the back foot against the cage, and I couldn't bear
That's
weight
not
on
what
my
I
right
do
leg.
then.
You know what I mean? The knockdown wasn't even a knockdown. It was just a right hook that stepped me on the leg that was immobilized, and I went down. It was the shot that followed that.
Really
But it was a
fucking bothering
flash.
me.
I was up in seconds. I was alert. Everything. Look at the way I.
All right, we're gonna start out
Remember
with
when
this
I
then.
bounced
This
his head
whole
off the
thing
ground
is
like a
getting fucked
basketball?
up.
Back in the day, he jumped up and he's looking at Herb Dean, what was going on. I jumped up and knew what was going on. It is what it is. It's the fight business. So even in the second bout, I shocked him to his core. It was an electric bolt going through his entire body. So I look forward to doing that again.
When the stuff was going on with Dustin and the charity and all that, did you seriously consider someone else for this return fight in July?
No, we were in. It is what it is. It is what it
Taking
is.
too long, man.
That's that.
That's not going the way I wanted it
Habib,
to.
do you still hold out hope that will happen?
I don't really give a about that guy, to be honest with you. I mean, he ran, he's gone, he's trying to blade what did he didn't do all in the sport in my
Did we
opinion.
did this already?
But before that, he pulled out a blade and everything. He had a little run and did
Oh,
showed
I
his
see,
true
they're on
character. It's not like I wasn't surprised. He scurried away like the little rat that he is.
Oh.
So you know, he's not. I'm not even concerned.
Would it be fair to say you win this fight, Charles Oliveira is next, the lightweight
Oh,
champion?
I
Yeah,
see.
Oliveira next. We'll dance with the Brazilians again, and I look forward to it.
Does he impress you?
No, he's timid. He's gonna crumble. I could, yeah, no.
Why the new teeth?
What do you mean? Why the new teeth? I know he's already.
I thought the other ones were
Yeah,
great.
they are. But you know, you can't drink coffee and all that crack. So I drink the coffee, I bleed. You know, I got them done. They're actually, it's not like I didn't get like veneers or anything like that. They're actually my teeth. They're just juiced up and you know sparkled and all. So I'm very happy with them.
Yeah, they look great. Congratulations on the proper deal that was announced. Congratulations on Forbes.
Thank you, sir.
You are still the bread, as you reminded us not that long ago. Always we have to ask, what is the prediction? How do you see it playing out on Saturday night?
Dustin's going out in a stretcher. That's my prediction. Going out of this fight in a stretcher.
Early, late, mid?
I'm ready for it all. I'm not jumping the gun.
This
I'm
looks
ready for
dumb.
it
This
all.
whole
He's
fucking
going
thing.
out
I
in a
had an idea. It's not letting me fucking do it.
Honor, appreciate it as always.
Yeah.
Good luck, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Early.
Cheers, Con.
What a night it's going to be, an eye for one. Cannot wait. Make sure that you don't miss
Yeah.
any of the action, which all goes down live on BT Sport Box Office from 1 a.m. But now, it's
All right, I guess I'll just have to get used to
opponent,
this.
Because I caught up with the Diamond, Dustin Poirier. All right, I'm here with Dustin the Diamond Poirier ahead of a massive fight. Dustin, how you feeling, my friend?
Feeling good, man. Good to be back in Las Vegas. Good to see things opening back up. Ready to go.
Yeah, well, obviously a different atmosphere this time. Last time was on Fight Island. A very different scenario. Obviously, no fans in the building, all the rest of it. How is this different from last time, from your perspective?
Obviously, the travel, you know, in the quarantine process. Last time we had to go to Vegas, so I flew from Florida to Vegas, had to quarantine
I'm
2
not
days
touching
there,
that.
then across,
Not
you know,
touching
long flight, and then was in a hotel for 12 days, I believe, before the fight. So it's a little bit smoother going here, and yeah.
Well, last time when we saw Conor, he was very cordial, very polite. He was there with his family and all the
gentleman.
rest of it. He was a gentleman. And even after the fight, you guys, there was a lot of respect there. It was nice to see. But what are you expecting this week? Because it seems already like the gloves are off and it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. But what are you expecting?
That I expect him to be crazy. You know, try to get me riled up, get me out of my, you know, my mindset.
Yeah.
But dude, it's impregnable.
Yeah.
I'm solid as a rock, man.
Do you think that will work for him, though? Because the narrative is in the first fight, 2014, that he got in your head and you were angry.
Yeah,
And
I
you
was.
went forward.
Very.
You were, exactly. And last time you weren't, and you had a great performance. Do you think this time there's any possibility that he might throw you off your game?
I don't think, I mean, obviously I'm going to say I don't think so, and I feel like it's not at all. Well, I mean, I guess we won't know till the bell rings.
Yep.
But even all the stuff he's doing and saying, you know, I don't hate the guy. I don't,
Sure.
You know, I don't hate anyone anymore. I'm just at a good spot mentally, not only with fighting, but just every day, man.
Yeah.
His fighting, and honestly, the stuff he's doing, it might be more for him than it is for me. Maybe he needs that. He needs to feel that he's that guy, you know. But
Do you think he's trying
Joe.
to summon up that angry, that old, hungry
sure.
type of Conor? He's trying to prove to himself that he still got it?
yeah, I think so. It's like I said, talking to Brett, I feel insecurity, you know.
Sure.
He's worried. The pressure's on him. This is just another fight for me. Of course, it's a big one. But him, everything he's built himself up to, you know, you go out there and get beat up twice by me, you get stopped again. I mean, it's not good. It's not good for business.
No, it isn't. Before we move on to the actual fight, yesterday, kind of a sensitive one, he put a picture out there of a DM from your wife or something.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that affect you? I mean,
Wait, what are these?
some might consider that a low blow. What do you say to that?
No, I want
You know,
this
there's
fight.
I mean, I got to be honest, it was good. If he was trying to piss you off and get in your head,
if it was
a
real,
good move.
if it was real and my wife was messaging him or something like that, then it's a good one. But if it's fabricated or, you know, me and my wife were laughing about it yesterday when I was at the grocery store. But it's just, there's no holds barred in the talking.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so.
That's the way it goes. Let's go back to that last fight then. Obviously, great performance from you. Got the knockout in the second round. First round though, what did you think of Conor there? Because a lot of people saying he has to make a lot of adjustments, but I still thought he looked good in that first round, and it's kind of disrespectful to you to make excuses for him almost.
Yeah, you know, I've seen over the past 6 months a lot of stuff. He was preparing for boxing. He was more in a boxing stance. He was just a lot of stuff, and that's just what people do. You know, what's his excuse going to be this time? What's the fans, or maybe he didn't even have an excuse. I don't know. Maybe his fan base, or his coaches, or whatever. What's it going to be this time? But
I
he
need
felt
some
dangerous.
jets on the side or something.
I have a healthy, I wouldn't call it fear, but a healthy understanding of his ability. He's a special athlete, special fighter, his timing, his power. You know, that's how he got to where he's at. It wasn't by mistake. He's a special individual. But, you know, I've been battling lions forever, and it's just what I do. I'm you know, yeah, he's a special guy, and he felt strong, felt good in the first round.
At 145, he did take you out of there in the first round. Do you think now at 155 you can take shots better because you're not doing that massive weight cut?
I would like to think so, you know,
Okay.
but I'm not sure. I do feel good. I feel more durable. But a lot of things come into play when you're talking about a shot that puts somebody down. Body positioning, balance.
I think we're good on that. Let's try some combat.
Obviously, he has punching power and good timing. And the shot was kind of behind the ear, kind of, you know, threw me off. It was a cheeky shot.
There you go.
There you go. It was a cheeky shot.
That's for the English guys. What do you think he needs to do differently? If you look at that fight, what do you think he's going to assess from that, and what do you think he's going to do differently this time?
Come out with sidearms.
I think he needs to pressure early and not get into a rhythm of back and forth with me. Because the longer that goes, the more I'm going to find his rhythm and his timing and make him miss and start hitting him with shots and pointing at him and getting into the longer the fight goes, the more I
There we
start
go.
moving. And
Comment
that's just how I
busters.
always am in the gym, in fights.
Yep.
The longer it goes, the better fighter usually wins. Anybody can win in the first couple minutes. But the
Ha!
longer the fight goes, like, outfight him.
There we
The
go.
popular narrative is in the first round he's very, very dangerous. You get him out of round 2, and it's kind of the balance tips in your favor. Do you agree with that?
I think the longer the fight goes and unfolds, I start pulling ahead if it's a close fight. But don't get it twisted, you know. This left hand, this right hook, I can put him out in the first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we saw that last time. A lot was made about the calf kicks. I'm assuming you're going to bring those back to the table. I'm assuming you're going to mix in takedowns here and there.
Maybe a little
what do you
too
think
much.
he's going to do different?
I think so. For me, whenever I first got my leg, you know, I knew about calf kicks, but didn't really pay him a whole lot of respect until I got destroyed by him.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Who
then
was that? Who destroyed
Jim
the
Miller.
calf? Jim Miller.
Another southpaw, yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, he tore my leg up. I thought my leg was broken. I was at the hospital. They were giving me morphine. I was in so much pain, so I know what it does. You know, I know how debilitating it is. And since getting it done to me, I had a new respect for it, and I wanted to add it to my arsenal and start damaging guys. So maybe that's what he's going to do. You know, he knows how effective it is. So he might implement it. You know, fighting another southpaw and try to land it himself.
Fortunately, calf kicks came around after my time. I've never thrown one, and I've never felt one.
Oh, they're
a lot of
vicious.
people saying he was kind of distracted. He was going to fight Manny Pacquiao. He was thinking about a boxing career. Do you think that's fair?
Nah, because it throws shade on the work that I've done my whole life to get to that night in Abu Dhabi and put him out. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, he lost. It's a fight. Whatever.
What is your prediction for this fight?
I think I'm gonna finish him again. I'm not sure if I'm gonna knock him out. It could be a stoppage by strikes. We'll see. For some reason, I really have a feeling I'm gonna submit him. I really
Yeah.
do.
Well, he said, I forget what the exact wording was, but it's the first one to shoot is a little bit something or whatever. Do you think he's scared, or not scared, pardon me, a little thrown off about the takedowns? Because obviously you have those in your arsenal. I'm assuming you're going to use them. It's a mixed martial arts fight.
Yeah, like for game planning, I've never game planned in my life. The game plan is just to fight. I can do it all. Even with the calf kick, that wasn't like a main focus. We drill it always in camp.
Yeah.
But when something, it's like if I would go out there and throw a cross and it was landing, I would throw more crosses because they're landing. The calf kick was landing, so I went to it. So in this fight, whatever's open, I'm gonna use it. And yeah, I'm a mixed martial artist. If the shot's there,
Come on.
wherever I can do to win, you know, by any means, that's what I'm doing.
A lot of people say that maybe, you know, obviously he's very wealthy now. He's made a ton of money. Maybe the hunger isn't there as much, or the fire isn't there. What do you think of that?
Yeah, you know, I was doing an interview yesterday and they asked me, I think it was Hagler who said it's hard to get up and run the miles. You know the quote.
Yep.
But to me, still fighting and still taking chances to go out there and get embarrassed in front of the world at where he's at financially and business-wise, he doesn't have to work a day in his life.
Sure.
He's set. His kids are probably set. They are. That makes him more dangerous to me because he's doing this because he wants to, not because he has to.
Yeah,
You know. He's going out there with something to prove.
Well, there's a lot of things you can buy. You can't buy the championship of the world.
You can't buy this either.
You can't buy heart either, you know. But obviously, the last fight you were going in there, the last time you shared an octagon.
But he has 2 belts at home, 2 different weight classes. He's
He
done
does.
it all. So for him to lace the gloves up and get back in there in front of the world, that's a dangerous man.
Oh yeah, and you have to respect that because, as you say, his legacy is set in stone. He was a 2-weight division champion.
Yeah.
But in that the second fight,
No.
the last time you shared an octagon, you knew that he knocked you out. And I've been there myself. Like when I fought the rematch with Dan Henderson, I was all cocky, you know. But then right before I had to go out, the nerve hit me, you know. And I'm like, wow, the last time I stepped in there, I got knocked out. The whole world laughed. Now it's the flip side. Now it's Conor thinking that, and I gotta say, I respect.
That's a pretty
what he's done.
well-balanced vehicle,
Taking you on again so quickly, you know, no warm-up fight, no tune-up. You know, you got to admire that. But what do you think his mental state is going to be on Saturday?
I'm not sure. Mine going into the second fight wasn't revenge. It was growth. It was putting myself where my family needs to be. It wasn't about revenge or getting even with him. I don't know his mindset. This seems to me like it's revenge, you know.
Yeah.
That can help you or hurt you depending on your mindset. You know, everybody's different. But
Obviously, we've got a press conference tomorrow. Last time was very cordial, as we know. And, you know, if you look back in the past, the ones with Khabib and countless others, he always entertains. He always puts on a show for the fans. And, you know, gets pretty insulting, but that's what people like to see. What are you expecting tomorrow? Theatrics?
yeah, for sure. Crazy guy. I'm not sure. Just like the fight, we don't know until the bell rings, but when the press conference starts, we'll see what maniac shows up. I'm sure he's going to be having fun. I'll bring him another bottle of hot sauce. Though.
Oh, nice. After this fight, I'm assuming you think you're going to be victorious. I'm assuming also that a fight with Charles Oliveira will be next for you.
That's the only fight, you know. If I get my hand raised Saturday, that's the only fight. But plan A right now is Conor Saturday night. I don't like to look too far ahead, you know, because none of that even is real until Saturday
Sure,
night.
of course. What do you make of anybody that's, and even Conor threw a little dig out there on Twitter, I think, about you taking the Conor fight rather than the belt? I mean, I understand it, you know, money's why we fight, we're prize fighters,
Right.
but what do you say to any critics of that?
Go back to work, clock in, you know, buy the pay-per-view.
Years ago, I saw on the countdown, you know, you started off in a boxing gym and then you started training MMA. All those years ago, did you think it would come to this? I mean,
Getting
Las
there.
Vegas, I mean, this fight has taken over the entire city. It's massive, might be one of the biggest fights they ever did. And of course, you're here, you're coming in, you knocked him out last time.
We would
It's a
just want
huge
one of these
opportunity. You're gonna
somewhere
make a ton of
random.
money. Did you ever see this in your wildest dreams?
No, because I didn't like
Too
talking
much.
about back then when I started off. It wasn't for for the money. It was for the love of the fight, and that's the only thing that's still real to me in this game. So the only thing I still like about fighting is the fight. You know, I don't like this anymore, to be honest with you, but I like to fight. So
See, that's really interesting. Do you think that's the difference between you two? The fact that you love to fight, and I'm sure Conor loves to fight as well. In fact, I know he loves to fight.
I'm an introvert, man. I don't like all this. You know,
The attention.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's gonna be fucking close. It's gonna
Well,
be
he does
kind
love it. He
of pretty
plays
done,
the
right?
crowds.
We
You
got
just want to
anything
get in
else?
there, get the
Maybe a
job
fucking
done, go
authority.
home, be with your family.
Exactly.
Keep doing good work.
I'm a working man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited, you know, about this whole thing.
Is there anything, anything new we're gonna see Saturday night?
The most well-rounded, focused. You know, I feel like I hit a stride.
All right, let's see what kind of colors we got going
My
on here.
physical and my technique is, I feel like I've been putting in the work for so long, man. Since I was a 17-year-old kid in a boxing gym. You know, I have 40-something mixed martial arts fights. It's just all coming together. I care, in a weird way, me caring less about this whole thing has let it start to blossom.
That's always the way. Isn't
Yeah.
that weird? Because the more you obsess, the more you like it, the more you kind of mess with your own mind and you make yourself nervous. But the more you enjoy it and just enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
you have better success. It's weird.
For sure. And the feelings, like, just the whole process is smoother to me. It's not easier, but I'm just a creative.
Ooh.
The feelings, the anxiety, all the stuff that comes along with the lead.
Ooh, how
Like
about
this.
that bastard?
If you were to compare yourself to the last Dustin that fought Conor, are you a better version? You're about the same? Where do you think you're at?
From Abu Dhabi this year?
Yeah, from Abu Dhabi.
I would hope I'm better. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm not better than I was week by week, I'm doing myself a disservice because I'm in the gym every day. Working
Oh,
things, you know.
man.
Even if it's 0.001%, I'm a better fighter.
Do you think, obviously the last one you knocked him out, cold. That puts you in the advantageous spot coming into this one. I mean, that's a good position to be in. Or do you think that's going to make him even hungrier, more determined, more fierce, if you will?
It's tough to say. I can't get in his head.
Is that how you spell man of war?
I'm sure he's working as hard as he's ever worked, focused. You know, he wants that back. That's what makes him so dangerous. Come get it.
All right, well, listen, I can't wait. Everyone's fired up for it. Everyone is. The whole world's going to be watching. Dustin, all the best, my friend.
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
Man, space, war.
This fight, I'm going to be cool, calm, and calculated. I'm going to take you out, man.
Gonna be a first round KO. Mark my words.
Ooh, I'm getting ready for this fight tonight, man.
A few days away, my friend. I've never just like somebody.
Garn o' War. The Garn warship. War speeder, I should call it.
In his business, it's a grudge match. I don't like this guy.
He's a scared little boy. Panic is setting in.
They have been on each other's nerves for weeks. He's talking to him. Hands at his hips. Conversation. Looking to finish the fight. It's all over.
Ooh, the Garn o' War crushing the enemy.
The new era of the fighting Irish, and I brought my whole country with me. If one of us go to war, we all go to war.
Gotta ask you about Conor McGregor, of course. Could that be the fight we see if he said yes?
Ooh, how did he take the orange guys out? Oh, well, this is our city now, dude.
How different do you think you are in this fight than you were in the last fight since you shot?
So I think me and Conor both are completely different fighters, and this is a different fight.
There's a lot of contrast with both men. Poirier, obviously. But even McGregor, the brash, smack-talking guy, doesn't seem to be around anymore.
Yeah, he fucked up my trade route, bitch.
Tonight, the two superstars meet again, this time up 10 pounds, and the stakes this time are moving with.
Military power.
That leg is crushed. It's starting to get dead. To the big left, and now a right. Oh, my God! That's the ball! Dustin Poirier has officially turned the mixed martial arts world on its axis tonight.
I'm not too sure for that.
UFC 264
Man,
is the biggest fight of the year, and I cannot wait. But there's so much on the line. It was only inevitable that tempers were going to flare. I mean, this is a Conor McGregor fight week after all. So, here's the best bits of the press conference.
The notorious, the Irish,
Are these guys military? No, they're spiritual.
That's what it is, you know. If it's not calf kicks, it'll be something else. Takedowns or boxing that opens up calf.
You're getting walked like a dog in that octagon on Saturday night.
City planner. We got to plan this city out because...
I mean, this is obviously different. It was gentlemanly last time. It's getting kind of ugly again. Is this getting personal for you at this point?
No, straight business, man. This is,
You're only a little Your wife is your husband. You're only a little bitch of a thing, a silly little hillbilly.
They're attacking.
Joe Lee's wife!
Get out.
Joe Lee's wife! Joe Lee's wife! Joe Lee's wife! You little bitch of a thing.
you used to be a lot better than that, man. The trash talk was a lot better than that.
Yeah, this ain't gonna work out for you, dude.
Sense. Have you seen other issues or other challenges that he presents to you, or is that really all that you need to address here?
This is my bread and butter. This
Fire.
is, you know, wakes me up in the morning with fire in my belly. You know,
Where you're going, dude?
to correct, tactics to prepare for. So I've had a great camp, a great focus on the opponent, on the skills. What?
throwing dick kicks this time.
Yeah, shut your mouth, you little fool. I'm gonna dance on your head.
Where you at? Where you at?
It's clear that the gentlemanly Conor that was in Abu Dhabi is not here this time around. And Dustin's admitted in fight number 1, you got in his
you
head.
got nothing.
You're sitting there right now. Do you feel that you've been able to get into his head or under his skin again?
I'm gonna go through his head, put holes in them, and take it off his shoulders. That's the goal here. He's done here. This is it for him. This is the end of the
first of all, my guy's got to get a little bit more.
I don't love this anymore. I don't love doing this. He knew what was coming. He knew the smacks he took. So it's on now. Saturday night he's getting walked around that octagon like a dog and put to sleep.
City
now,
planner.
After all the back and forth on social media,
I think he looks rough, to be honest. I look like the weight cut is getting to him. And you know, I can see
have to
it
stop
in his
looking like
eyes. There's
savages,
stress in his
man.
eyes, a lack of sleep. You can see it. It's coming for him on Saturday night, and he knows it, and I know, and I'm gonna love doing
Enough
it.
of this savages shit.
Dustin, same question. Is finally seeing Conor in person after all the back and forth on social media, has it elicited any more emotions, or is it still just business as usual?
No, it's just business. I see a man here.
I see a corpse.
Gets crazy.
The
I
guard.
see a dead body.
When people think about you, they think about the guy who apologized to absolutely nobody. Is that guy here today, and will he be here on Saturday?
An evolution of that guy. I'm better than that man, you know what I mean? I'm at to evolve, and I feel I'm at to come on full circle, and I look forward to showing it on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That night was the single greatest performance in UFC history, widely regarded. The night I won the second world title in Madison Square Garden. This performance on Saturday night, I'm gonna top it.
Would you like to fight for this strap before the end of 2021 against Oliveira?
Yes, we're gonna fill out the Allegiant Stadium, the Death Star.
For you, Dustin?
Yeah, of course.
No mask.
End of the year.
Conor, in the build to the last fight, you were unusually kind to Dustin. Now on fight week, it's the exact opposite. So when did that switch happen?
Because he got knocked the f*** out. Not McGregor fast, McGregor sleep.
Conor, question for you. You have won exactly one fight since Barack Obama was president.
Hold your mouth, I'll go down and smash you in the nose.
Conor,
I'll go down and smash you in the nose. You little rat.
6 fights.
You little rabbit thing. Someone
This
smack
man
him.
sent
Smack
you
him.
to a place where time doesn't exist 6 months ago. We want to know, why should anyone expect anything different on Saturday?
It's one more fight I won than your little sissy ass, you little fanny pad.
Why should we expect anything different on Saturday? Conor, in all sincerity, why would it be any different on Saturday?
He said he's just putting his hammers on, his hard at it. My boots been strapped for the last 10 years. I've been working my ass off with...
Thank you.
Why are you guys reaching out to people in the boxing world that I know? Trying to bring in boxing expertise.
Shut your mouth.
Why you guys reaching out to my friends to bring into camp?
What? I reached out to no one yet. Hick, I played and sparked Holly Malinaji and sparring in the lead up to Fight Floyd, one of the better boxers on this planet, you stupid tosspot. We never rang anyone to ask anyone for any bleeding info on you, you dope.
We both did the same to you.
I don't know what those would be for.
All right, that's it. That's all we've got time for here on the UFC 264 preview show on BT Sport. Enjoy the fights, and we'll catch you next time. Don't forget, you can watch UFC 264 this Saturday on BT Sport Box Office. McGregor versus Poirier 3. The prelims get underway at 1 a.m. with the main card starting at 3 a.m. For more information on how to purchase, go to bt.com/sport.
Hey, what's up, Charlie? Selling off official. Just building my little warrior dude here. That looks kind of cool, even though there's supposed to be a rank. I know what rank hatchings are for, but actually that makes more sense than they could be. I don't see anywhere on his shoulders in the fucking ring or on his chest. I think that's pretty good.
Okay, hello. It's me, Daniel. How you guys doing?
Daniel Cormier.
I'm here. It's time for my media appearance.
We appreciate it, DC. Hey, talk
I'm here. It's Daniel. Hi, guys. So,
Yeah, let's just leave it right there.
Match up a trilogy fight, like the mindset of a trilogy. Like, what are the potential, positives, potential negatives?
Less savage, but still savage. Kind of
I
fucking
did an essay today.
orky in a way.
All about trilogies.
Let's
watch it.
do it. Okay.
Speaks to the mindset going into that third fight. It's the most nerve-wracking thing
I just need
you've
to
ever
develop
done.
this city for a minute.
You're wondering what could have changed, but the reality is there are not many secrets left, right? Only small details will change what happened between fight 1, 2 to fight number 3. So, but I know both of these guys very nervous, on edge.
Nowhere else for a fact right now. That's just my city right there. Let's go to the other one.
All the other stuff, the trash talk, the yelling, the screaming. They'll see each other this afternoon. And then all systems go to tomorrow.
My ship should be on their way. Are they already over here?
I'm burping because, listen, I'm burping because Lars-Sanko and I just freaking...
The red is over with. There's no way they can win. I can make an airplane too.
So, the burp is just...
What is the blue
I
doing?
feel like I need to vomit for the last 30 minutes.
Blue are our friends, so let's go be friends with them.
Can't change in 6 months, right? You said, there's no secrets left. Especially this late in somebody's career, not that they're at the end of it, but they're developed as martial artists, right?
Well, here's the issue. For what I feel was the biggest problem for Conor, it feels like there should have been more time for him to go and address those leg kicks.
Okay, we've got a deal.
That he's got a great team. They will get him prepared. But the only reason that happens, right? Conor doesn't generally fight.
Why are they blue now?
Right? Not many of them are southpaws. So because Dustin's a southpaw, he can land those outside kicks. Generally, those kicks will be coming to the inside from a conventional fighter.
Oh, who's this guy?
6 months to turn.
The blue are trying to take that. Oh no. Oh well, they got. I distracted them. So.
If you're not gonna doubt anybody though, it's Conor McGregor. When he left after he fought Habib was
all right, guys, come on.
He completely wiped out Donald Cerrone. Right before Habib, it was a long time since he had fought Habib. Who did he fight before Habib?
You're not attacking anybody.
He didn't even lose. He fought Eddie Alvarez. He had the second belt. It was a long time since he fought. When he left, those low legs weren't even nearly as used as they are today, especially from guys from American Top Team. It's like they're staple. So I believe that low leg kick's going to be difficult to change in such a short period of time.
Wait, is that blue?
Realistically, it's a fun storyline to talk about, full arena, Las Vegas to go. Does it factor into
I better pull my ships from.
Is that just a media fun storyline, or does it really matter?
For a guy like Conor McGregor, and Dustin Poirier, you can see even in his words, right? He said, here at you saying crazy shit. Like, he understands what's in front of him because every time he goes in front of a crowd, they're booing him. The last time he fought in front of a crowd,
That's a big amount of money. I hope they start being nicer to me.
spots where he was the guy that was in foreign territory, where the crowd was completely on the opposite side.
Did they take my shit?
As well, right? Khabib in Abu Dhabi got finished. He
no,
fought
they didn't.
Conor in Vegas. People loved him. Those moments where people are so stern in one side, he doesn't like it. When he fought Max Holloway, we're in Atlanta, right? It was like 50-50. In most places, it's 50-50 unless you fight those massive stars. And Dustin recognizes that. That's why he's like, I'd rather do this thing in the Apex or on Fight Island where there are no fans. Because you don't feel like, I've dealt with it. I dealt with it with Jones. It really sucks whenever you don't know what you did to make these people turn against you, and then you got to go out and fight this guy.
In fairness, you never really did anything. I don't know why people.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
lastly, Conor's future. Does it hang in the balance here? Because it's interesting, right? I mean, the guy's a superstar, celebrity. I think people are going to show up to watch him fight no matter what he does. But do you feel like this is key to where he goes moving forward?
It's important competitively, right? But notice the difference, right? In some of these recent fights that we've had, I know on multiple occasions recently I've said, this is do or die. And I want to say that it's do or die in this situation, but then I was reminded very recently that it's not, because it's Conor McGregor. Even if he loses Saturday, he goes and fights another guy. Fights Nate Diaz a third time. Say he wins the fight over a guy like RD or something, he's right back in the title picture, because he will hang around the title picture for as long as he's in this sport. One other big thing to really reel in this fight is the left hand. He believes in it so much that he goes all out when he throws it. But that's when Dustin is landing that counter right hook, right? So it's like there's a lot of little things that McGregor has to try to fix if he's going to win against an absolute dog in Dustin Poirier.
DC. In an interview with ESPN, Kavanagh said that
That's not gonna
in
be a
sparring for the
well,
last
if I
fight,
fight, I'll just pull him over to my side.
Never did it in boxing
Put on
gloves,
defense.
headgear and stuff like that. For
What
this
is
one,
this?
only been
Gadget
MMA gloves.
bomb.
Can something
Ability
that
causes
little
damage to
preparation
buildings
make a
and vehicles
difference in
and
the fight?
Well,
help
here's
capture
the thing.
cities.
When we would
That's
use
very
MMA
nice.
gloves, we use them very rarely at AK. We had a tendency to hurt each other, first off, but you can't really punch hard. You're not trying to knock out your partners with small gloves. And so when guys would use them, we're like, oh, well, you're not training hard. Not the case. Max Holloway said he doesn't even spar anymore, which is absurd. So I think with the way
Do they not
evolving, you can train in that way and still
join my team?
You'll be more prepared for mixed martial arts.
Okay, that's fine. I thought they stole it from me. They didn't. So we're still technically allies. Even though, well, I don't know if we're allies, but we're at least cordial enough.
No, Tai Tuivasa came to the gym. He reached out. Justin Willis had gone to AKA, you know, so, or I'm sorry, ATT. So,
They're
listen,
fighting
man,
over there with their religious
the world goes,
zealotry.
the wheel turns. You know, one guy leaves, just get another one.
Let's make sure this is
It
fucking.
never
Oh,
stands
it's good to go over
you know,
here
so,
too. My
I
least
hope those
defended
guys are
city.
going to fight each other. It was Justin wanted to fight Ty, and Ty wanted to fight Justin, but
Should
Justin
get
isn't in the UFC anymore, so I don't know when or if it'll happen.
more.
Yeah, it's because Ty said that you were trying to hook something up at the gym when you first joined.
Well, just like in the sense that you guys hate each other so much, then we're here, right? We got lots of love. With our headgear, we can protect you as much as we can. Because for me, if I had a problem with somebody that, you know, anywhere, like, hey, you want to come to AKA? You can handle it, you know? That's what people misinterpret.
All right.
And not only with me, but a lot of these fighters, I can speak with 100% certainty that Dustin Poirier, yesterday at the press conference, you know, those guys were getting at each other. Dustin would fight Conor at that press conference, or in the street, basketball court, your local park, wherever.
Basketball court.
From where I'm from,
Local
I know
park.
what his mindset is. Conor will fight him anywhere. Khabib Nurmagomedov will fight you anywhere. So people need to be very careful the way you approach these fighters, the real ones. It doesn't matter. So if when Justin and Ty wanted to get at each other, hey, we'll protect you where we can. We'll put an elbow
We got
pad,
that
even help
going
each other.
really well. Now it's time to save a little bit of money and get some air superiority going.
I like Ty. He's a good guy, man. Hey, he's crazy as all can be. Tell you that much. He's fun. Tai Tuivasa's out of his mind. He's a fun guy.
Is there a way to ally? I wonder.
Friend. He's got a tough fight.
That's really what I want to do. Like these guys are sitting here. I don't want to fight them.
He was doing wrestling, right? Trying to work on that aspect of his game. And remember when Ty came to AK, he was on a losing streak. He's won 2 in a row now, and he hasn't been training with us. Let's not make a mistake about it. Back on the team. When he came, just that change-up refreshed him. And now he's back on the run. He's got a tough fight. And some of the lessons that he learned in that gym may be useful in a fight against Greg
I think
Hardy.
it would be good if the green and the blue kept fighting each other.
Because I'm working, but it's a tough fight. And Greg is A+ athlete.
Does nobody have that
massive.
one?
I mean, dude was the last guy to weigh in.
Go get it. Can I go get
now
that?
He has a great training camp around him. He's working with Rashad full time, individually. So he's Rashad's project. Let's see how it looks tomorrow.
Last thing for me, how was Kevin Holland's wrestling training going?
So Kevin Holland's wrestling training was going great, right? He came a couple times, worked, and then Edmund Shabazi
And plus, how would I even get it
came
back?
to AKA, and Kevin's like, I want to fight everybody. So if Shabazi is there, I can't go to see. So it's more like, you know, what they call what we were doing last
Airplane
year,
time.
Meet people.
Oh, social distancing.
Yeah, like it's more like a distance training, right? So he'll text me and we'll talk about it.
Let's see, is there anything I like?
So fun. Got such a great
I
personality.
already built a zero holster
Shahbazi's
for
a
somebody
great
else.
kid. Works hard.
Everything else.
In the gym every day. Rhonda came to see me in San Jose for something we did together, a project. And she goes, I
Something that is suitable for the Garn. That is.
You call
wow.
him Little Ed. I was like, he's not little. She goes, yeah. And she said he's gonna come for months. He's not going home.
Suitable for the
He lives
Garn.
in a hotel close to the gym, and he is just grinding it out. And the dude is impressive, man.
Not this one.
He'll be better the next time you guys see Edmund, because what he did at Glendale Fight Club with his coaches, and then you couple what they do with the help that he's getting at AKA, he's gonna be tough.
Thanks, man. If you're Chris Moutinho's coach, he takes his fight against Sean O'Malley on such short notice.
Something.
You said he just quit his full-time job in June. How do you prepare for him? How do you prepare him to go from regional circuit, 80 hours a week, and
suitable for the Garn,
Sean O'Malley on the opener of Conor McGregor card?
I think you just tell Chris, without telling Chris, throw caution to the wind and do what you do, because it's a win-win situation. But the moment you tell Chris it's a no-lose situation, you give him an out, right? So you tell him that without giving him the out and saying, hey, you can change your life. We saw it. Brandon Royval. Remember Brandon Royval came in here on like
I think it's this one, but we need to put something on it.
Against Tim Elliott.
This thing is literally just a shell. It has no weapons. Does it have weapons? I don't think
Beats Tim
so.
Elliott, and next thing you know, he's got a number by his name, wins another fight, and the number.
Yeah, that's pretty Garny.
That's how quickly you can change your life if you're Chris Moutinho. So that's what I tell him as his coach. Be prepared to shock the world and go do what we know you're capable of doing. But don't give yourself that out. Like, I think fighters do that too much. Well, it's a no-lose situation for me. So then you lose. You can't be a no-lose situation. Every fight's a win. You have to win.
Do you think the co-main event is flying under the
that's
radar
gonna blow
a little
up
bit
that other
between
fucking
Stephen
one.
Thompson and Gilbert Burns?
I think every fight's flying under the radar because of Conor, right? Like, I mean, when you, it's such a massive difference in what the city feels like when he fights, or anywhere. I mean, from fight 1 in Abu Dhabi to fight 3, I don't know who was there. I know he was there. But like, you were there. The fans in the arena, the excitement, the energy, it was just completely different because of who Conor McGregor is. And now you got a guy that beat him last time. Everything's flying under the radar. But this is a fantastic fight, and I know those guys will deliver fireworks.
Finally, what do you make of this whole drama with the heavyweight division right now, with the introduction of the interim title?
Yeah,
3
there we
months
go.
after
What
France
about that?
You know, when it comes
Really
to
sharp.
Conor McGregor versus
Pointy.
Dustin Poirier, pay-per-view, no title. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, pay-per-view with no title. But outside of that, since we've gone to ESPN,
I know what I'm
every
doing.
fight that headlines a card has a title. It's just the way it works.
Oh no, it won't go
Oh,
off
we
the
made a
side.
title. They
That's the
made a title
problem.
at the BMF. They made one to go to Madison Square Garden a couple years ago. So it's like, that interim title is essentially a #1 contenders fight. It doesn't change much. That doesn't hurt Francis's accomplishments. I understand. People are like, why an interim title? I just think that it's still a #1 contenders fight to see who fights Francis next. That's how I feel. I mean, I don't know what the decision making behind it was, but it's just a #1 contenders fight. Interim champion will fight the champ. But I mean, even for every one of you, right? When that poster comes out, there'll be 2 belts, right?
Oops.
It'll seem like champion versus champion.
Not that either.
More
Come
excited.
on.
Cyril
Slow.
Gane. If Cyril Gane can beat this Derek Lewis, being from Francis's old camp, the coach building up another prospect to knock off the guy that left him. I mean, look at the story. We can write a movie about stuff like this, right? It's like it just makes sense in that regard. Doesn't take away from what Francis accomplished. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. Nobody should lose sight of that. He's the baddest man on the planet.
Oh, because this was in the front, maybe
you
that's
said
why
that pay-per-view normally have a title at the top of the card. Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena was on that card already. Do you think it was just a matter of they wanted Derek Lewis?
You got Derek Lewis in Houston, right? You're going to sell out the arena. Derek Lewis is a guy that people like to watch. You know, I know it. I fought him. And when I fought him, I could feel the excitement in New York City.
There we go.
Right? So, and it was only 3 weeks. And I could see people were excited about the Black Beast. So, yeah, title fight, Derek Lewis in Houston, it all works.
Yeah.
DC to your right.
Yes.
Back here.
In the back?
What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
So you've been on in a feud before where the rivalry is very heated. We've seen fighters manufacture hate towards another fighter to gas themselves up. And when somebody's not engaging, it gets really difficult. Do you see that in Conor, that he's kind of manufacturing disgust of Dustin Poirier to maybe find a familiarity in how he fights?
I don't think it, I honestly
So
don't think it
weapons?
matters that much. I think that's one of the more overstated things in the whole build-up to this fight. Nice Conor versus angry Conor. How much different is Conor going to fight? He's going to fight. When he gets in the octagon, he's going to fight to the best of his ability, whether he's mad or whether he's happy. I did not like the build-up to the last fight. I don't need to see these guys Conor holding his hot sauce, him holding Conor's liquor. I don't need it. This is more fun, but I truly believe that ultimately it's going to come down to who is better on the night of the fight. So, manufacturing hate, being angry, being happy, liking the guy, it doesn't matter. I love Dan Henderson. I would have ripped his head off if I could. I hated John Jones. If I could have won, I damn sure would have won. You know, it's like, it doesn't really matter. You're going to fight to the best of your ability whenever you get in there.
What are your thoughts on Sean O'Malley? Because it seems like he's a highly marketable fighter. He goes viral with his knockouts, and it seems like he has something that a lot of other fighters do not.
He's got it. He's got it. Like, people tune in for him. They like him. And because of that, if he gets past Chris Moutinho, he'll get a big-name fighter, and his path to the elite of the division will be a bit
cross-eyed,
shorter.
or does that
Because
look good?
ultimately,
No,
this
it's
is
a little
not only
cross-eyed.
about the fight. It's about the business. And it seems like there's business in Sean
really
O'Malley.
fucked up.
Right? People like him. People tune in. He's got a great style for fans to really kind of latch on to.
Man, now what the fuck?
One hates to bring up a sore subject, but it's the Olympics time again.
Yes, yes.
Now, I remember a few years back when you and I talked about it.
Well, you look a little different now. Wow.
Time has passed.
I mean, you look, I was like, wait a minute. He looks familiar. You got a little beard going. Look at my man, Ben.
Neither one of us are light heavyweights anymore.
No, we are. I don't. We are definitely not light heavyweights. What's up, Ben?
But I remember when we talked about it before you become, UFC champion.
Damn it.
I
Come
literally
right there.
thought you were John Vellante sitting back there a little bit. When I first looked over, I go, what the hell is Vellante doing in here?
I'll take it.
That's my man Ben over here. What's up, Ben?
I'll take it gladly. Back to my question.
Okay, get on task. Sorry, I'm drunk.
So-
I'm drunk.
When we would talk about it, and I remember we were at dinner with some of the AKA guys.
Come on, stop doing this. God damn it. Put it in the right spot already.
That stuff still bothers me. And I wonder now, like, now that you've gone on and accomplished a whole lot of other stuff in MMA, and you've gotten more time and perspective on some of that Olympic stuff, when you see everybody ramping up every time it's Olympics time and you think back on it, do you still feel bothered by it, or do you have a different perspective on it now?
No, still bothers me. It'll be with me till I'm gone, right? Not getting to wrestle in the Olympic Games. That'll never change, right? I made a lot of mistakes to put myself in a situation where I not only let down myself, but my country, my family, USA Wrestling, Oklahoma State, so many people. So that'll never change, right? But being able to do 205, 6 pounds lighter, show the discipline that I should have had in wrestling, it does really help me deal with it a little bit better.
A little bit
but
more.
It's a harsh reminder that I literally just did things wrong
There's
to
one.
put myself where I was back in Beijing.
Well, do you think back on it now,
Okay, good.
basically?
And I mean, maybe that's what it
Tried,
was, right?
right.
Like the difference in the compensation between the UFC. I mean, listen, for some of the checks the UFC gave me, I would have done anything. I would have done a lot of things to get to the weight. So, and I have done a lot of things to get to the weight. When I'm thinking about it. But I should have had more pride in the accomplishment, and I think that I took it for granted. And as a young man, I made a mistake, and I can only try to do better every single day going forward to ensure that I help a kid or another wrestler not make the same mistakes.
Thank you.
Daniel, over here on your right.
Yes.
So, just 11 months ago, in the room right next to us.
Yeah.
You had your last ever fight. Standing
Yes.
here now, does it feel like it's been that long?
Man, listen. 6 years ago, I won my first championship. Time flies so fast. I mean, this guy became me. These two guys right here, David, Chris, we became best friends. Like every 3 months, we were on a media tour. I mean, I see these guys here now. When I do this, time goes so fast. And the moment I retired, my life got so busy outside of the octagon that I haven't really had a chance to sit back and think back on, oh, it's been a year already. Yeah, it sucks, you know, coming back and not being able to accomplish what you wanted at the end. But it is what it is, and you just kind of move forward. That's what I've always done.
Yeah, being here at the Apex all the time, and obviously with all your broadcasting duties you have, does it ever give you that itch to come back just a little bit?
To fight?
Yes.
No. Dude, it's hard. Fighting is hard. Like, it's really, really hard. I mean, to be able to compete is so special. I love to compete. It's what made me who I am, but I also understand.
There it goes.
If I can't put myself in the best position to win, I won't do it. You guys all know me. You've seen me do this thing. I mean, I had no time at the bottom. I was always at the top. Fought 10 straight championship fights.
And they got to have some sort of
If
missile.
I can't prepare myself, I won't do it.
I guess they don't have
and I just
missiles
don't
for
feel
this.
like where I am today in terms of the injuries, the wear and tear of the title fights. You know, people talk about 5-round camps versus 3-round camps. They're a real thing. And going through all those 5-round camps back to back and literally breaking myself down to the bare bones to make sure that when I was in there, I was ready. It's such a lasting toll, man. I get up in the morning. I literally stretch every morning for 30 minutes before I can even get up and leave. Because of all the, 15 years old, I'm in my first world team and represented the United States of America. So for 27 years, I did sports at the highest level, so I'm good.
And last one from me. Before you came out, we talked to your friend Max Holloway and Dean Thomas.
Yeah, it's
They
looking
had
pretty
some things to
straight.
say about the weigh-in show.
They're
They say-
liars.
They say that you're a notorious cheater.
They scandalize my name is what they do.
Is it fair to call Daniel Cormier a cheater?
Yeah, you know, there's a famous saying in regards to cheating while trying to win.
All right.
You guys have all heard it before. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I'm trying to win. I roped Laura Sanko, 105-pound woman. She beat me in a spelling bee, which you would imagine I've lost every single one of them. So I told her if she
Going
could
back to the
outrace me
Garnibalus.
drinking a beer, then she's the champ and I would be the champ. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'll give you a challenge because you just.
Oh,
and you go,
yeah.
anybody,
Look
right,
at
to
that
get it.
motherfucker.
I crushed her. Now I got the belt. Going into the next weigh-in show. So sure. They also caught me with, we're trying to spell Jagas in English. And
what the fuck is that
I may have
called?
been caught with the name sheet under my shoe. Under the desk. I mean, I may have been caught with the name sheet under my shoe.
No, not that. We're
It
not
is
gonna-
what it is, man. I'm trying to get my hand raised.
Hey, Daniel, in the back. What about the golf?
Garn. It's got to be a Garn
Yeah.
something,
Where'd that come
man.
In golf?
Did you guys practice the night before Jacksonville?
Yes, I have practiced. I cheat a lot on the golf course, not so much anymore. I got a golf
Garn.
simulator in my house now, so it makes it easier for me to practice and improve. All right, last one, guys.
All right, Daniel, in the back. You were just saying before that maybe, genuine animosity between fighters won't necessarily...
Garn of prey.
No. I'm talking about whether or not you're trying to make it, like, not real, right? Like, when it's genuine, it does affect it, right? Because then you can't control the
Garn
emotion.
of prey.
Talk about that, because I'm also wondering...
Flying high.
Attention might benefit some fighters over...
Flying
I think for
high.
Conor, he wants to have that. I mean, he tried to kick Dustin yesterday, right? Like, he wants to have that friction. He kicked Dana. I mean, Dana said he got kneed, but I mean, he wants to have that friction, right? Because some people do better in the chaos, but real emotion can really hinder you. And that happened to me against Jones, right? The first fight, so emotional, that energy dump. Second fight, guy beat me.
These
But
are
it's
free.
like, you
Oh,
have to really kind of
maybe
reel
four,
in
huh?
to ensure that you don't do too much. But McGregor lives in the chaos in regards to fighting. So this whole build-up has been exactly what he's
Who are you, Forest Nation?
I gotta keep it rolling. I gotta
let
get
me
another
try to-
one. No, I'm just kidding. Stop.
No,
All right.
Yeah, no big deal. I can't do it, though.
He's sort of defining the terms of the engagement, right? And so it's like...
He is. Well, he's drawing emotion out of Dustin. Dustin isn't the one that's starting the arguments. Dustin isn't the one that's like starting the fights, right? But if you pay attention, when Conor grabbed the hot
they
sauce,
just took it.
Poirier about charged him,
Cunts.
right? Then when Conor stood behind the desk on his side, Poirier was held back by Dana White. Now, here's
I
the
don't want to.
question.
I don't know who to help.
And this is why I'm so excited about the fights, right? We watch everything as analysts, right? So when I go and I watch the press conference yesterday,
Ooh, are they taking on like a giant monster over there?
antics. So then I go back.
Oh, that's the Blue Nation. Yeah, you know what?
Right? I go back and I watch the Khabib press conference, and he's so animated, and he's so mad, he's so angry. Then he didn't fight well, or as well as he could have fought. So is he taking it?
Are they taking it?
One direction, right? So it's like you're putting all these pieces together, and then you wonder whether or not Dustin, who yesterday did try to charge him a couple times, so then I go back and I watch him and Conor back in 2014 and think, is Dustin mad again? Is Dustin emotional again? So it's like there's so many factors that go into what happened. Dustin, this thing called the man in the arena.
The Green are doing pretty good. I don't know what to do in this situation.
Started crying because the man in the arena is about the guy that goes out there and he puts himself on display to be judged. He should not be judged by people that have not done it. This means so much to Dustin Poirier. Go watch that. Watch that essay that he voiced for the UFC. Watch and listen to the words and watch how he reacts to it. And then watch how those guys engage tomorrow night. Dude, this is the biggest fight of the year. Hands down, there will not be one bigger.
Now why won't they become friendly with me?
So fun. Crowd's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be beer everywhere, thrown everywhere. Rogan's back, Annick's back. Myself, Stephen A's here. I mean, everybody's mad about that, but why? Stephen A's up in here. I mean, this is not right? Everybody's trying to get ready.
Okay.
Right?
Secretly, I could just sweep these guys.
I think Conor's got the natural power. I think he's naturally the faster fighter. I think he's a smarter fighter as well.
If the first round ends and they're both still breathing,
I'm not really sure what to do.
That's it for me.
Why is he back? He's back for
This is
one
my home.
reason.
This is my
Not for
home,
money.
right? My
Not
home
even
city.
for the belt, because he's won it before. He's back for legacy. He's back to prove that he's one of the greatest of all time. That's what's got me intrigued about this fight.
It's like turning up the court in a tracksuit. You're just asking for it, aren't you?
Or turning up to BT in a tracksuit and flip-flops.
No offence. No offence, Dan.
Another house.
Throwing shots at me already.
I don't want any trouble. Do you know what I mean?
Welcome to Poirier versus McGregor 3, the debate here on BT Sport. I'm Adam Cattrall. It's a pleasure once again to be in your company. So how does the trilogy go down? I've got together a right bunch of reprobates to discuss this main event coming to you from the T-Mobile Arena.
What do they seem like? Are they having a good time over here in their crazy shit?
BT Sport joins us, the one and only Mr.
They had a
Nick
couple
P.
factories there for money.
He's used to applying his trade.
They got some entertainment. How another house?
Page. And he's also got the best set of teeth from Merseyside. UFC middleweight Darren Till joins us as well. A fella that has done incredibly well on YouTube in the world of podcasting. He's an entrepreneur. He's also more northern than me. True Geordie comes and joins us for a little bit of a chat as well. And we've got to have a little bit of sensible as well when we're talking about mixed martial arts. So we've got the biggest player, the best player, the athlete, he's here, right here, the King Reptile. How are you, sir? You good?
Yeah.
Smart as well. That's what I'm glad to see. Boys, what I want to get first and foremost is a feeling for the event, because I've got a few things lined up for you. We're going to get a little bit of shadow boxing later on, maybe between you two, get you involved. That's a bit of news to you, but you know what I mean. I'll throw that down later on. We're also going to look through that second fight just to see if we missed a few things, because we were cage side for that, and I personally haven't watched it back on screen, so we'll get some of the different camera angles. But I want to get a little bit of a feel for how you're feeling coming into this event at UFC 264. Brian, I'll start with you first and foremost, mate. As a major fan of the UFC,
I think that's a pretty solid city
all
there.
different platforms with fans. When this fight was made, what was your initial thoughts about it?
For me, it's about, is Conor McGregor who he says he is? John Kavanagh told us before the last fight, this is the best Conor McGregor you've ever seen.
Increased
Without doubt, the worst Conor McGregor we've ever seen. So if you want us to keep buying tickets and you want us to keep believing the hype and that this is the best fighter in the UFC and all the things that he tells us, you could kind of make an excuse for the Diaz loss. You can make an excuse for Khabib because he's such a good fighter. But once you start racking up more losses than wins in the last 5 years, that's bullshit. So this is about him proving what he says.
fair point. Regarding Dustin Poirier coming into this fight as a fighter, right? Dustin was offered a title fight earlier on this year against Charles Oliveira, but obviously the dawn of the trilogy with Conor, he's chosen that. What would you have done in that situation? Would you have gone for the trilogy or would he gone for the title
I would think the same thing with trilogy, yeah. I think he's thought about the money aspect first, because I think Poirier's only getting better. He's not like he's coming off the pedal, he's only getting better with age, so he's thought, I'll get me money and then I'll go and get the title, because the money's not always going to be there for the fight, so I'd have done the exact same thing.
The blue team likes me.
Conor's start still in the UFC, if he's still the money in this division.
But he's one of the biggest pay-per-view stars in all of sports and remains so, even though he's had, what, 1 win in the last 5 years. That just says, it's testament.
So what happens if I give them...
But with him, you know, both right, exactly like Dustin's going to take this opportunity because it's right there in front of him, the biggest paycheck in the sport. And by the way, Charles will be ringside with the belt waiting for the winner anyway. And Conor's got nowhere else to go. If he doesn't beat Dustin, if he doesn't win this trilogy fight, where does he go from there, with all due respect? He's fighting
I understand the money aspect of it, that, right? But as a mixed martial artist, as a person that likes to analyse people's styles and whatever, matchup-wise, is it the right thing to be doing for both of these guys?
I think so.
Yeah, my studies are going well, dude.
McGregor's going to continue to improve, especially once
One
he's in a
more.
position that's really open. And you've got to think, the low kicks were a big part of that last fight. You're going to need a good counter for low kicks or good low
There we go.
kicks. You're going to play that game. So I think the more Poirier leaves time in between, the more chance Conor's got of improving and coming in with a calm state of mind. Genuinely, I think Conor's the better all-round martial artist, but I think the last time he stepped in there, he was so focused on one game plan that he made it very easy for Poirier to settle into his game. I think this next version will be the best of both of them, without a doubt.
Do you mind if I borrow your ride-along idea now? Absolutely. Because
I don't know. Me and the blue, I guess, are good to go.
This as well. And us as fans, I'm going to play the second fight that happened earlier on this year.
I am.
At Fight Island. Just for my own benefit, really, because I was cage side and I saw
I just
it
sent you guys
first time
$4,000.
on the screen. I'd love to get your takes on maybe things that we saw in the first round.
Oh, boy. All right,
how
fine.
that fight kind of flipped. So I want to get
I
your
tried.
time reaction.
I wanted to have a nice religious nation here.
Dan, I just want to get your thoughts on this, right? You fought a fight behind closed doors, and now there were a few fans in there. I think there were about 1,500, 2,000 for this event. But he's used to coming out. T-Mobile Arena, 20,000 packed out. You've been at the echo when everybody's been singing Sweet Caroline and all that type of carry on. Talk me through coming out in a, I don't want to say dead arena because there was fans, but in an arena like that.
It's almost just, you know, they're going to force me to kill him, so I guess that's what I'm going to do. All right.
I don't want to say I liked it better, but I just felt like it was just get in and fight, whereas when there's fans and everything, even when your bus pulls up to like the arena, you can just hear it.
All right.
And, like, you can mess with it a little bit.
You asked for it, buddy.
And fight it. So I like just get, because basically because of it was, you know, the fight was drawn up, it was basically like, get to the arena, fight and go away. There was no.
One.
It was quick and easy. I really enjoyed it.
What was it like? I mean, obviously you worked on it as well, being there as well. It is a weird situation to fight in an environment, and obviously you've been a fighter yourself. You're used to feeding off that energy, and Conor comes across as the type of fella that feeds off the energy of the people that are in the arena.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I think, you know, there were people in the arena, but Conor likes that raucous atmosphere. You know, he loves to be the centre of attention. That's really what Conor McGregor Fight Week's about. I mean, no one garners the amount of interest that McGregor does. So to have that atmosphere in there, it only feeds him. And to be honest, I think he came in just getting the job done. You'll see in his first 30 seconds how he constantly chases that counter with false.
Oh yeah, the darn lasers.
Damn. In the middle when the fight starts, straight into that counter, the counter left over the top. He's really trying to get Poirier. So heavy on the
reminds me of Jose Aldo against Conor.
Yeah.
Couldn't get at him quick enough. I'm like, what are you doing? Slow down.
He's just shown his A game plan straight away because he's hanging heavy on that lead leg and he's trying to counter. And what you'll see is Poirier sinking away and start cuffing him with that right hook as he's missing as well.
Brian, you did a live watch along?
Yes, of course.
So, what was the atmosphere like in the room then as people are watching this and watching these first opening exchanges?
I think, to be honest, the whole room was like, we all know Dustin Poirier is class, but you can buy into McGregor hype, everything about him is, I'm going to say what I'm going to do and then go and do it. So it was a case of, all right, at some point, he's going to land a big left hook, and that's it, we all celebrate. But when Dustin started grappling and went chest to chest,
Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Sorry, Green Nation.
The problem I think Conor has is the blueprint to beat Conor is so out there, so obvious that everyone knows how to do it.
See, I think Poirier is playing the game here. All the way through this first round, you can tell clearly that his main focus is to move laterally, stay away from that. Because Conor wasn't doing anything else in the game. In fact, his first fight, he came out with spinning kicks. You know, there was a lot of variety to his game. He was heavy on that lead foot, and he was there for those
That's it. We wanted to be peaceful.
18 kicks.
Could you tell?
I really did. I really wanted to be peaceful.
I mean, he is normally quite light with that karate style. Could you tell early going that he maybe didn't concentrate too much on the boxing?
Absolutely. He's just hanging heavy on that lead leg because he's looking for that same shot he landed the first fight.
Stances as well. Conor's stance, it's so pinched together.
I want these guys to remain religious.
Manny Pacquiao super fight down the line because just as a whole approach, it's all about boxing. It's all about getting up close. He doesn't seem to be setting it up.
He's so overconfident. He's not even doing what he would normally do. He's not laying the traps. He's just thinking, all I have to do is tag you once and it's all over. He's actually like strolling towards Dustin as if there's nothing to worry about. And it's like, this isn't the Dustin Poirier from last time.
This is the critical moment for
All right, City, we gotta hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up.
This exact moment, he said, when Dustin starts wobbling his head in there and starts rolling his shoulders, that moment where he points at Conor and he starts talking, he said, in the corner, then we knew. We knew Dustin was going to win because he was in the flow state. Suddenly it's like, I've overcome the demon, you aren't going to knock me out. Boom, welcome to my world, now let's play.
Yeah. Religious.
That first low kick straight away in this second round. And Poirier...
I'm going to pick whatever they got already.
Poirier had spotted this telling in Conor McGregor's game because once the left hand
Let's
stops
get some
working,
religious
starts
rollers
firing
on
that lead
here.
up
Some
through.
darn
You
religion.
can see in a second he's going to counter Conor as he throws that. And you can see it as well because the damage on the lead leg, it forces Conor to step onto that foot to regain his balance. And you kind of see the knee buckle a little bit. I mean, Conor just looks flustered here, and Poirier looks like this is getting better and better as it goes on.
He looks very un-Conor-like.
Yeah, he does. He does. We're going to see the exchange in a minute, but it's like Conor. Here we go. You see how he buckles on that lead leg because Poirier catches him with that right hook as he's leaning.
This was the most staggering thing of the fight for me was once Conor went from the hammer to the nail, he was over in
Where's
like
the
10
weapon?
seconds. And once he started taking the punishment, his ability to take punishment, I was surprised at how low that was compared to someone like Dustin, Justin Gaethje, any of the other top fighters at that level. He did, I think Dustin just
I don't think I even want to mess with it too much. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe a couple more.
We always see whenever Conor is on the back foot, it's always because he's tired. You know? Like whenever we see him backed up against the fence, it's because Nate Diaz is pouring the pressure on, or because Poirier's got him backed up. But if you go back to his UFC debut against Brimage, where he's actually choosing to fight off the back foot, that might be a good secondary option for him because he does better work when Poirier is moving forward. You know, he needs Poirier to commit to stuff so he can counter that, so he can start walking him onto things. But you think those uppercuts that he was using against Marcus Brimage and how square Poirier stands when he's in close throwing bombs, I think that might be an option for him.
If he's on the back foot as well, I mean, correct us if I'm wrong, but it means he's less likely to take damage on the leg as well than the strike.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something in being planted on that lead leg when you're taking those kicks that makes a difference. Because if you attack that from another position when the weight's not on it, it's not quite as impactful. But when someone's planted heavy on that lead leg and all their weight's into that, it seems to be far more impactful on the tibial nerve when people get caught on it.
Just a quick one on the mentality of Dustin Poirier, and I'm going to come to you on this one, Dan, because we obviously had a conversation at Madison Square Garden in the aftermath of you coming back off after what happened at UFC London. He will have gone into this fight with all sorts of things running around his head. The night before, he'd have been thinking, right, this guy's done me at 145 pounds. Yes, fair enough, it's 6-7 years ago, what have you. But all those demons would have been there. For him to come through it, to obviously then get the victory. Talk me through the mental process of, one, the demons at the start of the fight, and then the relief of when you actually get the job done.
I think when you're a fighter, you know what you're expecting, but then when it's there in front of you, like when I was sat there in MSG, I think you sort of, more than anything, you just feel regret. You're like, why have I chose to do this? Like, whoa, what's going on here? And I can imagine Dustin was probably thinking the same thing. Well, I'm back here again, fighting the guy who KO'd me the first time. I can imagine he had some sick demons going through his head, and then when it's done, it's like, wow, he hit me with the left hand and I was still standing. But the only thing I can touch on with Conor, what I truly seen was I just don't think he was sharp enough. I just don't think he got the right training. I don't think he was in the gutter. I think he was out in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, sipping pineapple juice.
Portugal or somewhere like
yeah,
that.
wherever he was.
So, yeah, he wasn't in Ireland anyway on the Greek
He
streets,
wasn't,
wasn't he?
he wasn't in the gutter like when he was when he first started. And I know obviously you get money and things change, but I think you need to keep that gutter mentality. Like he was sipping pineapple juice and then going on his bike along the. I don't know. That's just not the way I think it needs to be done. I think for fights like that, you can imagine Dustin was training in the gutter and feeling like he was in the gutter. I just don't think Conor got the rounds of sparring, the rounds of pads, everything, and he just looked very. His left hand was just very.
I think we're good.
There. It
Now
wasn't
we're
sharp,
going
like
to
that
change the color, of course.
Just don't think he's had the pad work or the
To
sparring.
Garn color.
I don't know if he's changed it for this fight.
All the way back to the amoeba.
Not real, but if you go on his Insta, he's still in Dubai, sipping pineapple juices and that. So who knows?
We got a boxing coach, didn't he?
No, I don't like that as much as I. The jet looks cool that way.
Oh, you're going to see a new Conor. Well, we've seen a new Conor. Like you weren't wrong. He looked like.
That's not quite.
I'm never going to doubt him, obviously, because he's Conor. Like people love to. A guy gets a loss or two, and they're like, "Oh."
What do you think?
You think, "Wow, yeah, he beat everyone."
I'm kind of orange and blue.
But I think
isn't that the $1 million question going into this third fight, though? The fact remains that will we ever see Conor from Conor Dustin?
No.
Does that guy even remain? Is he still, living and breathing? Because this is a guy that does sleep on super yachts and he does live a billionaire-style lifestyle. Maybe that is why he took them shots and he was affected so badly by those shots, because there is no one there driving the road work. There is no one there at 6 in the morning making sure he puts the work in, because Conor's the boss. Don't care who's in the corner. Conor McGregor is the boss of Conor McGregor World. He's the CEO of Conor
Partial
McGregor
style.
Enterprises, and that's just the way it is. And whether it
Looks
takes
like
a
a Tide
special
box.
kind of athlete to be able to put all that to one side and get the hunger back of being on the dole in Crumlin and to be that type of trainer, that type of worker once again. I don't know whether he's got that in him again. And that's why for me, if he is able to get a victory on Saturday night, if he is able to beat Dustin Poirier, for me that puts him right up there with some of the greatest of all time.
You've gone big. I like it, man. Well, hold your horses, because we're going to talk about what changes and what you expect from fight week when it all gets underway. We're also going to have a little bit of a shadow off here, just because I've got you two in the octagon, so we might as well have a bit of a scrap whilst we're here, eh, lads?
What is it? Featherweight versus light heavyweight? Is that
Listen. Sound.
I wish I was.
And then we're hopefully going to take our splinters out of backside and make some wild predictions by the end of the show, as well as to how we think this main event's going to go down. So make sure you stick with us for Poirier McGregor 3, the debate on BT Sport. Welcome back to Poirier McGregor 3, the debate on BT Sport. Time to get stuck into what we want to see from fight week. Right, at the start of the show, you talked about McGregor and what you expected and what you wanted from him the last time when we were on Fight Time, and it was a little bit more reserved. He was very respectful in the build-up and all that type of stuff. What do you want to see this week?
I don't know what's going on there.
Well, don't turn up in a yacht would be a start. Like, you know, it's like turning up the court in a tracksuit. You're just asking for it, aren't you?
Or turn up to BT in a tracksuit and flip-flops.
No offence, Darren. I don't want any trouble.
Shots at me already.
I don't want any trouble. You know what I mean?
Actually, I like that right there, dude.
But mentally, if he's got it, I want to see that. I don't want to see like him just come towards the octagon looking like he's going to walk the dog, and when he's in there, just his whole attitude of Dustin beforehand was, this ain't going to be a war, it's going to be smooth for me, it's going to be easy, in there strong, not giving him any respect. I don't mind a fighter losing. Every fighter will lose at some point, and it's about like giving your all, and I felt like his whole game plan was disrespectful to Dustin, probably thinking about the Pacquiao fight, and he just needs to take him as seriously as he deserves, because Dustin Poirier is as good as it gets, really.
Nick made some points just before the break there about, obviously, what goes wrong. You've got to address it. I mean, you've got to face it. And I think Conor's absolutely brilliant at accepting a defeat, understanding what's gone wrong in that moment, but it's a big thing now when you're getting out of bed with your silk pyjamas on to be able to go and address those things. From what you've seen, and as Darren said earlier, Instagram's not the real world, but from what you've seen,
that's lame.
Are you a little bit surprised that maybe he didn't go back to Ireland for training camp, or are you happy with what he's been getting up to?
It's hard to judge what he's doing. That's the problem. I think what we do know is that he definitely still wants to be doing
Garnquisition. That's an awesome fucking name. The Garnquisition.
That respect is going to get worth the hard
All
work.
right. Well,
because
we got
before,
all
when
our
he was
shit
back,
over here.
You know, working towards his UFC contract, it was about.
Oh, you guys didn't expect that. You didn't expect the Spanish Garnquisition.
The good comparison is obviously Nate Diaz.
Alright, let's take this. These guys can go. Who are we fighting? Oh, right there.
No, it isn't though, is it? When I see them on social in Dubai, I'm like, bro, like, what are you playing at?
What is
Like,
this shit? What are you doing over here?
Situation in the first place. It's not. It doesn't fill the fans with confidence because we've seen when Conor gets these bright ideas and McGregor fast and all of that. I want to see an island where
I done a little bit of my fight. So it wasn't like I was swanning my second part. You didn't even see this. If it was getting knocked out my hand. I mean, by all means, you can say whatever you want, but who's your boss? Like, am I, like, do I walk around going, I'm Darren Till? No, I walk around going, I'm Darren Till and I'm the boss of my kids, but apart from that, Colin's the boss of everything else. So I think every fight
Daddy daycare and all of this all over the US. Tell you what, and our lads are doing all sorts of competitions. You don't want to be a family man on that day, you want to be thinking business.
You're 100% right. So it's got we were.
No!
And that's fantastic.
Get out of there.
Great to see that side of it, but like what you're saying there, is you're preparing for a battle on a Saturday. To go from dad mode to beast mode is very, very difficult switch to flip.
Wait, well, this. I might as well test this.
I think you can flip. I think you can flip. No, people laugh at the kid, but the point is it's just it's all tap and then.
Oh, Jesus. I nuked him.
It's not been like
shit.
It's not been like in the gym evilness and then
my God.
Kids from there. It's been like kids have been everywhere with him. So it's like
in comparison on that, I mean we were there on the day when this happened. It was Poirier's birthday by the time. Yeah, okay, White came out and his daughter he had absolutely
throughout Conor's career, I think the big wins, the most incredible wins he's had, the Aldos, the Eddie Alvarez, all that kind of stuff. They come to his world and they're suddenly intimidated by his world because Conor's the biggest thing the sport's ever seen. More media,
Alright, we just need to.
fans,
the biggest fight.
This is what I want to do.
The biggest paydays of their careers. It's intimidating, and that's what happened.
Right? I want to get your city rebuilt.
Didn't expect anything like that. On Fight Island, it was an even playing field. Conor made it an even playing field. Oh, he's a family man like me. I'm going to donate to his foundation, and that was lovely to see. Like,
I want all.
Finally, he's grown up. He's grown up and maturing. He's become a pussycat inside the octagon. He can't be that again. This time around, this fight week, I want the full length coat out again. I want to see the dancing. I want the Billy walk. I want the full swag, the full show. Because I believe we need to do that to become victorious. Conor McGregor lost on Fight Island.
But you're not getting that because he's already said he's already shutting down interviews.
But what I mean is, he will do a media day, maybe with the fans, do a ceremonial weigh-in where they will let 8,000 fans in. Conor's going to turn to notorious.
Is my Air Force done?
And remind.
That's okay. I don't need them anyway.
It's not an even playing field. I'm the A-side. I'm the superstar. You're the I think that is where he gets. He wins the first round.
Plus, it would be really weird if he doesn't wear his mink coat and Nick's in the background doing the dancing and wearing You've got to get him to raise his game to match yours.
It is an interesting point, though, that you bring up there, Nick, regarding fighters that get themselves into the realm of like an alternative.
We're going to take this over anyway.
And that's what Conor for a long period of time has done with this notorious character that he's created. And so he's brilliant on the microphone, but last time out on Fight Island, Listen, I liked it. It was nice to see that side of him. Of course it was. He was very respectful towards Dustin. They were putting an extra products, weren't they? Hot sauce and a whiskey drink was going around at the weigh-ins and what have you. Not a fair trade. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
Dustin never got us down.
Oh, is that me? That's me. That's so cool.
At the stage, you were up his face, and there was no connection there at all. Whereas when you see him on stage with Yancy Medeiros, he's the best friend. See how the pressure on his opponents and what and as you were saying, he's not using much media. It's the media access to the fans. You sound like every day from him because he's doing loads of it. That trigger starts to get inside his head.
I disagree a bit though what you're saying. He's done everything.
What the hell just happened?
Family man is good enough to beat you, Dustin. And that insecurity is what I'm worried about as a fan of this, because we're seeing Floyd Mayweather maintain his dominance over the years because he's such an insecure person. That's why he's covered in jewelry. That's why he wants everyone to know how rich he is. Because he doesn't feel really worth a lot himself. But Conor is happy. He's content. And that if we don't see that he can still dig through that, I think the same thing might happen again.
Wow, you've just hit me after that. I'm going to put my old chain away. One sec, everybody.
I charge 50 quid an hour.
It's a good point. It's a good price. It's a good point.
I do worry that he's just like missed the have a lot of potential because that ain't a fighter in my head. Like we seen, like, I know Rocky wasn't real, but there was real lessons in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then look at the weigh-in for the Diaz fight, right? It's the first time ever Conor stepped upon the stage and rubbed his belly on the scale. Normally he does that scream. You get that real feral look in his face. Yeah, exactly. It's like you get that real like angry feral look on his face that looks like he's left his family and marched to the battlefield himself carrying his weapons. He arrived on the
last weigh-in. He was literally pointing to his kids.
Yeah.
Total difference. Total difference.
Well, the point you made is a brilliant point, but then that brings us back to start the conversation. Why is he here then? If he's content and he's happy, he's got money in the bank, that his grandchildren never have to worry about money, and he's got all kinds of business interests, he's opening bars now and everything else. Why is he back? He's back for one reason, not for money, not even for the belt, because he's won it before. He's back for legacy. He's back to prove that he's one of the greatest of all time. That's what's got me intrigued about this fight. Because can Conor 3.0 turn up on in Las Vegas? If he can.
But then even if he loses this fight, people are still going to say that about him because Conor brought so many eyes to the sport of mixed martial arts. He feels like he's already I think he's achieved so much already. Whereas Dustin always feels like a top 10 contender. Like he's always trying to fight his way to the belt and comes through the trenches to get to the arena. That's the difference.
He's the number one in the world without the belt, but he'll walk into this fight, Dustin, as the underdog, like he does his entire career. Obviously, we're talking a lot about Conor here, but we've got to put some emphasis on Dustin as well. He's made the right decision. Get him now, catch that.
Get out of here.
Before we obviously talk about the nuances of this fight, just on Dustin, how impressed have you been with his development since the first defeat in 2014? Yeah, it's a long time ago and it's a different weight category, but how impressed have you been with his journey to this point right now?
I'm impressed with him every time out. I mean, I've sat recently and watched his whole back catalogue. If you go back to his WEC fights, he's the same guy. He's the same fighter. He's square in his stance. He's raging forward, throwing power punch. It's brilliant to watch. But what's nice is his coaches have taken that and they've gone, well, that's the quality that we like in. That's the thing that makes him dangerous to these guys. Let's just bolster that with a bit of head movement and some uppercuts and some knees like he used against Gaethje, and of course the Darce choke, which he bolts on the end when people are under pressure. Like, that's the thing, you know, he comes through the trenches to get to the arena, but he also sometimes goes through the trenches in the first 2 rounds. And he's still there in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, ready to walk.
Let's talk about that now. He's already, you know, we're a week out and he's already talking about, I want this to be in the trenches. I want to go 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. I want it to be that fight. I truly believe he thinks he can break Conor.
It's funny because we're talking about which Conor shows up, because we all know which Dustin shows up.
Exactly.
That's the advantage Dustin has, is guaranteed violence. We know he's coming in like Dustin Poirier. There's no variation. Every single time it's violence. So it's on Conor whether this goes long or not, really.
Listen, stick with us here on BT Sport, because this comeback is about to happen, and it's happening against Darren Till. Exclusive. Poirier, McGregor 3, the debate continues. Welcome back to Poirier versus McGregor 3, the debate on BT Sport. Hopefully, somebody is recording the outtakes during the ad break. Certainly need to go on the internet and play his channel, and therefore go all over the world. Now then, boys, I want to talk about the technical elements now coming into this trilogy, and I'm going to hear you. That's all right. You right for that? Yeah. We can all have a little bit of a tickle here now. I think it's only fair that we try and talk from a technical point of view. We talked about the emotional connection to this. I know that you've done a big breakdown of which is available on BT Sport, which people can get their hands on. You've gone to town on that. But just talk to me about, firstly, matching up as Southpaws, these boys. You come at it from Dustin Poirier's point of view, as the winner, the victor coming into this fight.
Oh, I converted him.
Okay, my man. Just talk. I'm talking about another dig. Mimic Conor McGregor is what I said, right? Yeah, I'll taste it. Right, go on. Talk us through. If you're Dustin now, what are you in the first embers of this fight now? What are you looking for? What are you looking to do in order to start dictating the dance?
Well, first of all, I want to figure out what he's going to do. From the last fight, I'm expecting him to throw that overhand left, so I'm going to be real careful throwing my jab because he's coming over the top to crack me on the side of the chin. That's my first thought. But if Conor comes out like he normally does, where he's moving around and he's springing and stuff, Poirier's just going to give him a bit of space.
I don't even know. Oh, I see one.
That lead calf, he's going to keep chopping that like he did the last one.
Just on that, for people watching this at home, we mentioned at the start of the show, in the second fight, he was very boxing heavy, was Conor, right? So therefore, he was quite flat on his feet.
Real heavy on that lead.
There you go. Okay, so you're, as Dustin Poirier, entering this octagon, you're thinking, right, first of all, I'm looking at his feet, what's he doing? Is he going to be similar to the second fight, or are we going to the first fight? That karate stance is a bit more bouncy.
Exactly. If he's a bit spaced out and he's got a bit more movement to his stance,
a
bit more Darren Till, then you don't know.
So you're natural now, aren't you?
Got to the top 5 and left
The thing is, if Conor comes in and just focuses, just comes in a boxing stance and starts looking for that jab counter, Poirier knows exactly what he's going to do. So if Conor comes out throwing a whole bunch of stuff, it will slow the pace of the fight down for Poirier. But he don't mind that. Championship rounds is so for Poirier, it's about covering distance when the fight starts to slow down. And he will throw the big shot over the top, expecting to miss, following through so he can land the next one. And that's the way that Poirier is going to be able to push McGregor back if he's able to, because he doesn't want to be trying to he also doesn't want to be walking into range and throwing that lazy jab because that left hand's going to go for shot.
All the way around then, switch it.
If I'm Conor McGregor, I'm going to go back to what I did in the first fight. I'm going to be nice and light and loose on my toes, and I'm going to be throwing lots of high kicks and spinning kicks to try and force him back up against the fence. But then I'm going back to that second fight against Nate Diaz. I'm doing the same thing. I'm attacking that calf because if I want to counter this left hand, I want you to step heavy on that lead foot. So if it's damaged already, as you step forward on that, you're going to commit. And I'm going to be able to
Blue.
And if you watch the Nate Diaz fight, once that leg started to go and Nate's coming in, he's stepping heavy, you can't retract his foot quick enough to get away from that left hand.
They are not moving.
Disabling of that lead leg for Conor McGregor is going to make.
Well, if that's the case, I'm not going to finish off green.
Defense of the league leg as well, because last time around it seemed like he wasn't going full way around with his chest. Just explain that, especially when it's southpaw versus southpaw.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, this is not a problem Conor's had before because normally he's in opposite stances.
Yeah.
So the stinging to the lead leg's not nearly as dangerous. Whereas if you've got guys in a close stance, southpaw v southpaw, orthodox v orthodox, the calf kick I'm aiming at is the tip of the nerve right there. And you really can't defend him without really fully turning your leg out for a full shin kick. You've got to catch it on the shin. What McGregor was doing was trying to jam it, which is still taking a lot of that force into the calf. My solution for McGregor would be to give him a discouragement.
Oh, they're not budging.
Every time the calf kick comes in, just barrel him down the center with the left hand and knock him off balance. Give him a deterrent. And there's one other thing that McGregor uses really well as well, and that's that hop side kick to the body and to the midsection, which works southpaw or orthodox. It doesn't make
You know what?
Still got it, even in jeans, pal.
a bit tighter.
Still light, isn't he? The featherweight knows what he's doing. If anybody wants to give us a call, we'll take calls and we'll try and make a fight for you.
Why not?
As we were watching through, that's the technicality there. I think it's a start, right? You want to see Conor McGregor win the guy that fought. Do you believe, though, in your heart of hearts, that we can see? Does he still have it?
Well, there were moments where, there were times where he was really hitting Dustin and landing and hurting him. But I was really impressed with Dustin's ability to take those shots and actually outside of 145.
I thought we were allies.
How Conor hasn't been dropping people the same way that he used to, and I think we all remember those days, and it's kind of that was a different person with a different weight at a different time. And Dustin probably would have gained a lot of confidence, the fact that he took so many of those shots and kept coming. So I think Conor has to plan for the long game here. He can't just go in and think, I'm going to take him off. It's got to be Diaz too. It's got to be, he's landing his own leg kicks, he's giving him, and maybe give him some things to worry about that are unexpected. Maybe grapple, try and take him down. I know that might sound crazy, but Conor is just so predictable in that last fight that I think that was his biggest undoing.
It is mixed martial arts. I know they've been going back and forth on social media. I won't repeat what they've been calling each other. If someone shoots or what have you, Conor McGregor just wants a stand-up fight, but it is MMA. And therefore, the more rounded fighter you would think is going to be victorious in this fight at 264.
Yeah, listen, this is as good as the sport gets, and they're both absolutely well-rounded. They're both good everywhere. They're both strong everywhere. It's about who handles the moments, and Conor traditionally has always handled the moments better than anybody else. There's been no one that can really live with him until this moment when suddenly he's not the same Conor McGregor. Can he be a different Conor McGregor? Can he live in that moment once again? Because Dustin can absolutely live in that moment. Dustin's ready. As Ryan was saying earlier, we know what Dustin's doing. We know exactly what we're going to get. That's what's so fascinating.
Was it just purely for you a lack of focus as to why he wasn't as sharp as he once was?
I don't think so. I just think it was a misapplication.
Yeah.
I think he came in the first 30 seconds. He was like, last time I closed him down. I caught him with that left hand over the top.
Did we get rid of that monster? Or did he leave?
Because I'm a bigger fighter, and I don't think he can take my power.
Oh, no.
And there's a time for Poirier, about 90 seconds. In the
Sorry,
fight.
buddy. You're not going to be here for much longer. You got to get the fuck out of Dodge.
He's been stung in the first round. He's always been within that 90 seconds. And I think Conor started fast to kind of prey on that. But then if you look at the first fight, he still got him going fast. But he didn't open up with that, I'm going to hit him with his left hand. Whenever he's doing all those spinning kicks and everything, what he's doing, like, they're not worried about the kicks, they're getting out the way of them.
All right, now you're on an island, right? You guys are kind of safe.
Not giving them all those.
You got your own little Navy and Air Force shit.
And I do think Poirier does take a much better shot at 155, but I would also say I don't think he took a good shot from McGregor in that second fight.
What about allowing Dustin to be the aggressor and actually counter-punching him? Because that's where you'll find your openings, in my opinion. Like, he basically showed his hand so quickly to Dustin, and that's where the check right hook was landing every time. If he lets Dustin go first, as he did with Aldo, he's got a better chance of and
not gonna let
the energy back. And
Are you attacking my stuff now?
I'm not going to blow my load so quick this time. It might work for him.
See, I think if he was backing
We're
up
at peace, but I can't make peace with him anymore. I guess I gotta take him out.
Aldo was perfect example because he baited him to get him to move onto the shot. Same thing with Nate. The times he hurt him.
Practiced in the changing rooms, though, the footage.
Eventually, he's gonna get pissed off at me, and then want to fight.
The gutters. So has he practiced them shots a million times in the gym? Has he done it 10 fours on pads? Has he done 10 fours of sparring? If he hasn't done any of that, the instinct is not there. That famous saying by
I might as well take this time to build up my cities more.
The same. Exactly, but yeah. Has he been in the gutter doing all that instinct fainting? Has his coach had him fainting, going back to the gutters?
It's not just the physical aspect of that as well, isn't it?
How do you clean that up?
Taxing that is within a fight. You experienced that with Robert
Me and Whittaker were just stood there for 1 hour just doing that. And after
Who's going first?
Yeah, he's going first. Well, you got one, and I'll go, you nearly got me.
But it is big on the brain when you're in the zone of fight. That 5 minute
Loads of like me when me and Wonderboy fought, it was the same thing, taxing, because I knew one step forward into his range of motion, he's going to hit me. So I knew I have to come in, see what he's going to do, and go, right, I know he's going to do that next. And that's how you figure, I mean, this might sound intricate now, but that's how you figure fights out.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen none of that at all.
We just seen...
He was in his face.
I'm going to hit you.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people say, oh, Till, he's built, he's only got the left hand, but it's what comes behind.
Oh, they're building over
like
here.
On it is probably better than me at doing it, but he didn't do it, he just caught
Good.
You know, so has he been doing this gutter work, as I keep going on about, for 10, 12 weeks? 10 fours of pads, 10 fours of sparring, running. I mean, I don't buy into all the McGregor fast, as you said yourself. I don't think it works for fighting.
But even when he was at a peak of his powers, even when he was super fit, super hungry, maybe at featherweight or maybe first moved up to lightweight, just the style of throwing that big left hand, there's only 10 or 12 of them in his arsenal before his energy levels are going to drop. There's only a certain amount of them, and right now, he probably hasn't, well, in the last fight, I was sitting in that 12 of them, he probably had 6. And when you miss with 6, and then the 7th kind of lands on your shoulder, it doesn't fight, and you go, that doesn't feel like the first 6. That's, the energy levels dropped already, and that comes back to has he got the drive, is he working, has he got the cardio in the time, has he got 12 big left hands in?
And that's why he gassed against Diaz in the first fight, not because he wasn't landing, because he wasn't landing clean.
Alright.
Like, he's got such a long stance. It's like fighting one of those...
Factory.
You hit it in the top.
House.
I'm coming back.
House.
But he was like covering him off the
Entertainment.
shoulder, off the side of his head. Nothing was landing clean. He does better when people are moving towards him. He did the same
More
thing with
entertainment.
Poirier in the first fight. There's a
Another house?
because he lands a clean shot in the first fight that most people won't miss watching the regular version of the fight. But you see it from above, you see him jamming with his left hand.
They're pretty happy, right?
Right, boys, we've obviously seen you two have a nice little fight, which I enjoyed. Plus or personal, I like it. Next,
They're waiting for me to make the first move is what's going on over here.
Making some big predictions. We're going to be putting our heads on the chopping block.
Short bit Klobnesh, Rob left.
Welcome back to Poirier versus McGregor 3, the debate here on BT Sport final part.
They're not gonna let me just kind of.
UFC 264.
Look at these places, Jesus Christ.
Listen, you're good at this, man. I've seen the stuff. I know that you will have a solid.
God, they look like a dreary fucking existence. They have 2 cities.
Great showman, very similar, but with Dustin, I just know what I'm going to get, and he's 7-1. To me, that was
They're ripe for
Conor will have
conversion.
Good performance where I can actually say
People are not happy over there.
The Cerrone one for me wasn't something I can actually put a lot of stock into. And you know, Conor's 1 and 2 in that time, so I just don't have enough faith in Conor to turn up on point. So yeah, I'll probably go with Dustin.
Are you going with him over the distance?
Finish. I think the finish because Dustin's going to gain his confidence from that last one, and also. All right, the Mayweather thing. It wasn't really a finish, kind of like in the sense of a UFC style finish, but he got finished. You know, Diaz finished him the first time, and then since then, Khabib finished him. You know, Dustin finished him, and I don't have any problems with fighters getting losing fights, but when you're getting finished, it's a classic sign of a fighter in decline. If you look back through boxing, MMA, all of it, and that just doesn't give me a lot of faith because fighters who really want,
look at these guys.
He'll gut it out and to save face and go to a decision and lose a decision. But when you're getting finished as regularly as Conor is, it just doesn't give me a lot of faith.
No, I agree to a certain extent. It's hard. With fights like this, Ryan touched upon this, right?
Control zero.
To have the romance of it because Conor for a long period of time, yeah, all right, at 145, gives so many amazing moments. So many amazing moments. If you're a Conor McGregor fan, which all of us are, as we are Dustin Poirier fans, but you remember those romantic moments, don't you? So it's hard sometimes to detach brain from heart of where we're at right now in the reality.
I'd love to see.
Yeah. The guys are doing excellent. I love this. I love this. Get a full-on city.
Jan Blachowicz, the way they've just been like beat down to the ground. How many losses they've had, and now they're all in the champions. I'd love to see.
All right. Well, what is this?
They've had to do that with nothing behind them. They haven't achieved as much as he has in such a short time.
I did it.
I know a lot of people always, since the Eddie Alvarez fight, they've gone on to do massive and bigger things. Like he fought me.
I guess that was a quick way to end it. Like, just get it over with.
Over the last 12 months. That's where we're at, Conor McGregor right now, and he hasn't earned.
I'm pretty proud of this. I'm pretty proud of this.
Outside the octagon. So are you agreeing? Would you you're going with a Dustin Poirier finish?
I think the way Poirier trains and fights, and he's getting better with age. I think Poirier's going to finish.
All right, you ready for this now? Here's some controversy. Go.
I don't want to be military.
I believe you two, honestly. Next time we do
they're the kind. They kind of are military. Kind of like Klingons.
Get him back to fight.
They were like orcs in a sense.
You used to know. We're rescinding your membership.
Get him back to fight disciples. He doesn't belong here.
Hey, notorious. You better believe he's back. Listen, I'm in the Conor McGregor business. I ain't gonna lie. He's gonna be back. He's gonna be better than ever.
Oh, wow.
He's gonna shock the world once again. He's gonna knock Dustin Poirier out in the first round.
Space exploration for the guard.
That's your social media friends, are you?
Well, it is. Darren tweets my stuff as well, so that's why we're best mates as well. So.
Round? When you go in? Are you going
First
early?
round. I think he's got 10 minutes. We're talking a pride round here. Conor's got 10 minutes to end the fight. I think anything, once we hear the bell for the start of round 3, I think it's all dust, and I think we know that. I think we all know that. I think we've got a 10-minute pride round. We've got 2 rounds here where Conor McGregor can land that left hand. He won't rush in like last time. He has got respect for Conor. He will feed off a capacity crowd inside the T-Mobile. Get the coke back on. Get Sinead up in the gods with a microphone. Let's go all in. Smoke machines, the full 9 yards.
Just go viral there. You've gone round
Conor's back.
No, it wasn't that. It was the notorious dance. That's what's going around the world. Come on, big man.
Okay.
The brain. Talk me through it. How does this play out?
Okay. My calculation for this fight, 70-80% wise, I'm leaning towards Poirier. Basically, if they fought 10 times, I think Poirier wins 7 or 8 of them. Because I think he's got the staying power and the toughness. I think he knows what to expect from Conor McGregor, and I think he can stay away from that left hand most of the time. To the point
That
where
makes no sense. These guys are more like rock people.
Tired, and then Poirier comes on. I think McGregor's going to win.
Unreal.
Yes, Darren! Yes!
And I'll tell you why. Because generally, technically speaking, McGregor is a better martial artist. He's definitely a better striker, if not a better all-round martial artist. And the holes in Poirier's game are there regardless of who he's fighting. If he's got someone that connect with him clean in the early rounds, and I think it's probably going to be a first-round stoppage, I think Poirier is just as susceptible as everybody else to Conor's left hand. And I don't necessarily agree that he's not got the same kind of power, because if you think Nate took Leon's best shots in that 4th round, Conor dropped him a whole bunch of times in their rematch. I think Conor's got the natural power. I think he's naturally the faster fighter. And I think if he comes in with his intelligence, his intellect, his calculations, and he plays the game better, I think he's a smarter fighter as well. But what he doesn't have is that blunt force trauma just to march through, the Greek hop-like shield wall just walks you into the fence and mauls you. That's what Poirier can do, but he's got to get through so much firepower.
What about being knocked out, Dan? Because this is the first time he's been asleep. That's a big deal. Will that affect him psychologically, where he's now a bit more gun-shy because he's like, I got put out last time?
See, I don't think it will, and for 2 reasons. One, I think that the feedback coming out of the dressing room after the fight is that the main thing that was concerning was the leg. He had a lot of pain in that leg, and I think that diminished his conditioning as well as his output way before we actually started to respect the fact that leg was damaged. Second of all, when we see Conor getting backed up against the fence, we already know the fight's done. Like, we already know it's slipping away from him at this point.
What does that
and
mean?
The punch that Poirier landed on, if you watch that footwork, McGregor slides along the fence and he goes, poof. That's a free full power shot. If I'm throwing a medicine ball at a wall, I'm doing that little skip with the feet. And I think Poirier can generate the power to hurt McGregor. But I just think if you watch it, McGregor was square, he got caught on the forehead and he went down and his eyes were still open at the end of the fight. So I think he got hurt for sure. But I still think fatigue and the leg kicks played into the finish.
We've never seen anyone counter McGregor the way Poirier did. That would be my counterpoint. Is from the first go, Poirier was checking with the right hook immediately. He knew what to look for. And one thing I think about Poirier is he's going to come with something different. I think McGregor's going to be anticipating the leg kicks, and Poirier's going to switch the game plan up, and it'll be something else that he comes with, because he knows he can't just do the same thing that tricks out the bag now, so he's got to come with something else. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if we see something totally different from him.
Do any of you see this going to distance? Just me then.
So it's a draw then, you think?
No, I've just got a feeling that they will be a lot more calculated. Just as I look at the history of fights, when you've got 2 guys coming into a fight, and I know that the circumstances are very different in this one. When you've got 2 guys coming into a fight that have got to knock out each of each other, you're a bit tentative. It's like what you were saying before about who's going first. If one is going to go first, then yeah, I agree with you. There's going to be a stoppage somewhere. But if neither goes first, it might be just a high-level chess battle for 25 minutes.
It might, until Poirier gets bored. And then he just starts moving forward.
Then he could potentially walk into a lot of stuff.
Walk into stuff, yeah. Like, McGregor might do the smart thing by hanging back and forcing Poirier to come to him, because he'll walk onto counters. But I still think McGregor's finite. He's got 10 minutes. And if you look at the Nate Diaz fight, yeah, that was 5 rounds. But he spent half of it doing laps of the octagon, and Diaz pointing at him and laughing. Like, Poirier won't let him off.
No, he won't do that.
You know, if Poirier landed on Leon, he'd have jumped on him to try and get that finish in the last 30 seconds. He wouldn't have pointed at him and laugh. It's a different mentality. But Poirier will jump on him.
That's the thing that makes me think, it could be McGregor, because even him as a rusty Conor landed some really good shots in that first round, and like
turned him down.
So
membership, listen.
He's not sure. No, he's not sure.
I'm keen for McGregor as well.
Here's the thing. If I was putting if this was a fun thing, fair enough, McGregor. But if someone put a gun to my head, I'd pick Poirier.
Yeah.
Because it's just like
he's
so safe.
Because you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's guaranteed. Like, I know violence.
If I was to bet money, like now, I know Poirier's been in the gym doing 10 calls.
Space.
10 calls of sparring.
Ooh.
My money, I'm betting on with it.
Yeah. That Justin
Plasma
Gaethje fight
jets.
from Poirier, the level of war he's prepared to go to, I don't believe Conor's prepared to go the same place. So I think Conor either gets it done early, but if the first round ends and they're both still breathing, okay, Poirier's winning. That's it. McGregor's got. I wouldn't even give him 10 minutes, because, to be honest, I think Poirier's just got too much for him later on.
So if that plays out, Dustin wins. What for Conor McGregor? Is that it? Is that him done in the UFC, do you think?
I would think so, yeah.
I think if he loses, He won't. But if he loses, then I think in the UFC we've got the celebrity-style fights. We've got the BMF title fight with Masvidal. We've got a third fight with Nate Diaz. Both of them still sell. Connor's still Connor, and we are not boxing. L's are allowed in this sport. It's all part of the sport. I just think his time as a real, genuine title contender is done. There's also another conversation with your boy as well. Mate, I'm telling you, Logan and Jake Paul come into the conversation because Connor's all about making money.
Logan told me he wants a Conor fight, like that's his goal, Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor versus Logan Paul. Come on, it's its own money.
He is wrapped up to the end of his lifetime in his contract. There's no way he's going anywhere else in the UFC. I think if Conor loses, we're going to get something like a Tony Ferguson fight. And I won't be mad at that, but Will would get to the stage. I wouldn't be mad about it, but I think Masvidal bingoes him. I think he's just a better fighter. Bigger, better. Yeah, but I don't think Conor McGregor would beat you. So you know what I mean? It's like Masvidal's a smart fighter. You can't take that away.
We keep Conor McGregor away from Masvidal.
Yeah, that's not a good fight for him at all.
That is not a good fight for him.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson, Diaz, I'd watch them, but is the urge there when you're not the main attraction, when your star's shrinking, when your ego's as big as his is? I don't know if he'd want to carry on doing that. Maybe the UFC might do like a, you know, because when you think of the amount of money they could make from a Logan or Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor, the UFC would take their nice big chunk the way they did Mayweather. He might be the one man who can convince Dana White to allow that.
You reckon, yeah?
Because
I don't think
the money difference from Conor versus Masvidal or any of them, in fact, is huge. So I think Dana will persist with Conor as long as he can, but if he thinks, you know what it is, we'll just squeeze the juice out at the end here, let him go and do these celebrity fights, maybe he would. I know Conor deliberately has never shot that down. And he's even as Jake Paul's called his wife, called everything about him, Conor has never ever shot that fight down. Yeah. To me, he's just too much of a businessman. Come on, staring us all.
And listen, that's the negative side of it. But if he wins, Charles Oliveira title fight next.
Yeah, I want to see the same story as Charles, and that, like I said, I love them stories, mate. Yeah. So I would love to.
Does he get a title shot straight away though? Because he's not been on a good run. I mean, I know obviously brand-wise he gets a title shot, but does he? You know, do we see him in there against the Gaethje or a Chandler first?
Mate, the UFC are doing an interim heavyweight title fight. Yes, he's getting the shot. If he wins, he's getting the shot.
He'll be fighting Derek Lewis next. Whatever.
They're keeping him away from Gaethje, sure.
I think most people.
Oh, come on. What's next? What's next on
Most
here?
people realise that Dustin was the #1 ranked fighter when Khabib walked away. He chose to fight McGregor, which opened up the vacant title fight elsewhere. So I think whoever wins this 100% steps into that fight if they want it. But suddenly, Conor's star will be back at the top of the tree again. So Conor will have options, and whether that includes Manny Pacquiao suddenly again. I don't
even have weapons on this fucking thing yet.
Floyd Mayweather rematch. Nothing is off limits if Conor becomes top of the tree once more, because what he's proven throughout his entire career is, for the first time, he is an athlete that has transcended the letters UFC.
Okay, so who will be reigning supreme at 155 pounds at the end of the year?
If you remember, we started the year and the three of us predicted Charles Oliveira would be champion at the end of 2021.
Not bad. We know what we're doing, Dad.
But I'm going to flip that.
You're both riding on the back of Dan, bro.
Correct.
I'm actually going to change my tune now, because the winner of this fight fights Charles, and the winner of this fight beats Charles as well. So I'm going to stick with Conor. I'm going to stick with Conor beating Charles.
This is kind of cool looking.
Oh, once again, reign number 3.
Jeez.
I hope you're right.
I've got
All
Charles
right.
because I know Charles is the lightweight
Just some
champion.
fucking weapons on the sons of bitch.
Trains in the gym with himself with his students.
Yeah.
He is going to be the lightweight champion.
Okay.
Okay, so nothing changes there from your point of view.
So basically, you got 3 choices.
Still on the Oliveira trend.
Religious.
Too technical for everybody at every range. I think you look at the next group of guys moving towards him. I just think he's too much at both ends of the spectrum. His striking's really good now compared to how it was, you know, back in his featherweight days. And his ground game is, I mean, he's the record holder for submissions.
And the questions over his mentality as well. He came through
no
the
questions.
fire against
I have no
Chandler,
questions
didn't
about it at all.
Yeah.
I just think Charles Oliveira right now is the best lightweight in the world, and I don't think anybody right now can touch him.
Cool, bro. Give us something different. What have you got?
I agree in the skill set. I think Charles is amazing. I think his defensive striking especially is really good. But I think Dustin would find a way to crack him and knock him out. I don't think his chin
Ooh, I like that.
up to what Dustin would put him through.
I
think
like
Dustin
that.
would find a way to land it and he'll be the champ.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I can sit on the fence all day.
Listen, we're split down the middle here. I've basically bottled it and said that it's going the distance, and you guys have gone 2 each on each side. I'm sure people at home have got their opinion as well as how this fight is going to play out. Listen, UFC 264 is set to be an absolute cracker with that main event between Poirier and McGregor Part 3. That's been the debate. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, but don't forget to come back in and enjoy the fight itself. The prelims go down at 1 a.m. on BT Sport 2. Make sure you come and join us for that. And then on BT Sport box office from 3 a.m. is when you can get the main card. For information of how you purchase that main card, head to our website, bt.com/sportboxoffice.
Are they going straight? Straight? No. Oh, maybe they are. Hold on. It's taking me a while to build this ship. I don't know if I want those there anyway. We need weapons. The nebulizer. Yeah, it's gonna be a brilliant spot. Hold on, hold on. I'll put those there. Fire away, bitch. Fire away. How's that? Nothing, man. Too many parts. They're like, too many parts. Maybe I'll put this antenna up here. Makes more fucking sense. And then we'll go to the paint shop. And we'll paint it. First attempt. Like our little Garnibulus. Oh yeah. Oh, because we can paint certain parts of it. Okay. I don't know about that. I can't really see the colors up there. chill much. Yeah. Yeah. So far, so good, man. I don't know. Orange. I don't know if I like that. The wing I want to be kind of funky. Something that looks like fucking haphazard and thrown together. No. Could be, couldn't it? We don't do it orange though, like a nice orange color. I guess it's as orange as it gets. It's not bad though. Everybody knows that when you see this fucking thing, start running your ass off. I think I'm good. This is the Garn Cruiser that I'm gonna be chilling in for a long time. All right, cool. Garden Fleet Command. I wonder if this thing is even still going. Let me double check. Stream is still going. Looks healthy. Looks decent. I've been playing for a while, so I'm gonna get this done. And I'm gonna save it right now because I fucking didn't save it last time. Garnet Prey, Garnet War, Garnoceros, Poogle. Captain. Captain. I don't even. I haven't even figured out how to name Garn in the first place. Shogath Ra. All right. All right. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do . Ugh. First thing we're gonna do is save this. I'm gonna take a nap. To leave the planet. Bye-bye. Saved, so now I should be able to quit Spore because I got here before with a different race, but this was my first race, so they deserve to actually be the ones who do a lot of the space exploration. And now if I play it, it should go right back. Thanks for joining my stream, whoever. There's a couple people who popped on, and thank you guys for that. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna have this video updated pretty soon. So I should be able to go to my Garn. And continue from the space stage. All right, awesome. That's what I forgot to do last. I thought it would auto-save it. For some reason, I think I must have forgot. So at least these guys are still in outer space. Good, good, good. Quit Spore. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. Don't say. Don't tell me now you're going to erase the game. Please don't do that. All right, like, share, and subscribe, please. I'm really trying to do good for you guys. And I hope it is. I hope it's doing well. So please support my stream and all that stuff. That would be awesome. You know what I forgot to do is I forgot to put the game chat window in the thingamajig so that you guys can see it. But that's okay. You know, whatever. Like, share, and subscribe.